Who the heck is Pep Talks?
I'm not gay, but I fantasize about Marco Rubio. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Pep Talks. Let's eradicate the Kung Flu. I'm literally coming. Pep Talks. Pep Talks.
Who the heck is Pep Talk?
They want our women. They want our children.
Pep Talk.
Sometimes no means yes. Grab them by the pep talk. Grab them by the Marco Rubio. Obama is a racist.
Pep Talk.
I'm literally coming. I'm
Pep
literally coming.
Pep Talks.
We found weapons of mass
Pep Talks.
destruction. My fellow Americans, it has been confirmed today from Pep Talks that we are indeed all high on politics.
Good afternoon, everybody, and early afternoon. Yes, it is for High on Politics. Obviously, there is some breaking news going on. I would have gone live right as it was happening if I hadn't just wrapped up show and decided to take my little bedtime medicines, i.e. some, fun eddies. And yeah, I was already at that point of passing out once the actual strike started happening. So, if you guys are not aware, I don't know how you're not, but might as well just break right into it. We are at war. It's official. We have gone to war, people. No getting around it anymore. I'm interested to see what some, MAGA chuds got to say today. I don't think Trump is deporting enough weird. Okay, whatever. The bots are in here real fast. Yes. Yeah. Deportation is the subject of the day. Work harder, Russians. Like, seriously, pay the people. Like, because obviously this is one of those ones that's either like pure robot or paid. 13-year-old Russian kid just sitting on his phone. Oh, yes. This is going to piss off liberal American. It's going to be when I hit when I bring up the immigration. Yes, he's going to get so mad. Yes. You're not a bot. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. Because a bot can't be programmed to say I'm not a bot. Okay. Man, I need a CAPTCHA system at this point. I really do. At this... wait, you know what? Here, let's see. When you're not being such a xenophobic dickhead, what's your favorite food? Okay. What's up, Natch? How's it going, brother? Hermit, how you doing? Welcome. Glad to see you all come over from yesterday's show. Man. Okay, so what we have here is we got a live look at Tel Aviv. We're going to be keeping an eye on that because, yes, apparently there have been some retaliatory strikes in Doha and a few other regions. Yeah. It's popping off already, guys. So here, let's just go into it. This is Iranian TV showing the damage. Just so you guys know, they are saying that we hit a girls' school and around 64 casualties have been reported just from that school alone. Jesus, dude. Okay, so there have been unconfirmed reports that the Ayatollah Khomeini has been dispatched, but this is coming from the likes of Laura Loomer, so take it with a grain of salt.
Bahrain has confirmed there have been attacks inside its territory.
Man. It's one thing to expect it, it's another thing to actually have it start happening.
This is a moment a missile hit the U.S.'s 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain's capital, Manama. Bahrain's National Communications Center has confirmed other attacks targeting sites and facilities within its borders and has condemned those attacks. Let's bring in Rory Challenge in Amman.
The most anti-war president of all time. Yep. No new wars. We have so many different examples of him saying Obama is going to start a war with Iran because of his unpopularity. He's so unpopular that he has to start a war just to get a little bit of support.
Or on what's been happening in the region and the reaction, Rory.
Yeah, well, certainly for people here in Amman, in the capital of Jordan, it was
Iranian TV is still saying that their leader is about to speak. Who knows?
a pretty noisy morning with the sounds of jet fighters you could hear quite clearly up in the sky, and then repeated booms, presumably of air defense or similar things reverberating around the skyline. We have heard from the Jordanian military that two ballistic missiles were intercepted and successfully neutralized by the Jordanian air defense systems. And indeed, there has been footage that emerged.
Yeah, one thing that I've seen a lot of Americans saying,
some flaming debris that apparently landed.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna just pause this for a second. So one thing that they've been saying is how a lot of Americans think that this is a lot like Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm gonna just say that I was watching Vosh's coverage last night, and he said something pretty on the nose. This is a real country. I don't think you understand that Iraq, Afghanistan, like in context, those were not real countries that have, you know, full military, full like cities all over. Like, this is a modern country again, because we have not had much exposure as Americans, which trust me, that was part of the plan, was to make sure that we don't sympathize with them at all, and we think that they're just a bunch of sandsuckers, because that, trust me, been through this one before. But yeah, there's a reason that we never actually went through with this during Bush and Obama. And that's because if you thought that going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan was it's been we've been there a long time. We're still in Iraq. People forget that. So what are we, 26 years in? 25 years in. Yeah, they're saying that this is going to last a few days and possibly maybe even a week or two. Yeah, okay.
On a house or near a house in the...
Why? The thing is, dude, I don't care if you, I disagree with the leadership of Iran, but you know what? It's not my fucking choice what they do. We do not get to just go into any country and just be like, your sovereignty does not matter. You do not get to have a bad leader. Because you know what? That gives them the right to fucking do it to us.
Marj al-Hammam area of the capital.
Do you agree with that? Do you think that just because you know what? You got a large contingent in America that don't like the American leadership. So do you see how this could be, I don't know, construed a little bit fucking
but
weirdly in the geopolitical sphere?
No injuries have been reported. Now, Jordan, like many parts of this region, many countries...
Also, it kind of flies in the face of that whole, we destroyed their ability to have nuclear arms, when they're using the idea that they could still have nuclear arms as the reason they conducted this.
In this region, hosts...
It's almost like we're Israel's bitch and we're just doing whatever the fuck they want. It's almost, I wonder who, you know what? We don't have to wonder anymore. Bibi obviously has more leverage than Iran, but if Iran truly does have some files and some dirt on Trump, they said they're going to release it within the coming days, so we'll see.
U.S. military forces. Now, the Jordanians have a big airbase.
But, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of MAGA just chiming in that they're happy about this, but yeah, okay. No new wars. We're going to spend billions of dollars, but America first. Get fucked, you unserious motherfuckers. Just admit that you cannot get out of the cult. Just admit that you love this guy so fucking much that you yourself would... Oh, wait, that's right. I don't see you guys at the recruitment office today. You're online bothering a fucking lefty.
Wafak Salti Air Base, which is about 100 kilometers east of the capital, that has lots and lots of U.S. planes, or certainly did very recently. 60 to 70 combat aircraft were
you don't really even care.
Documented there. There were Chinese.
The thing is, if you guys are under the age of 25 in this chat today and you live in the U.S., you should be fucking petrified of this, because guess what? The military does not have enough recruits.
Satellite pictures that showed
and if they do boots on the ground, we are fucked.
Clearly where they were on the air apron and on the strips of that airbase.
But you guys are still in la la land thinking that you're listening to Donald Trump going, rise up, people, take over your country because you know what? It's time.
The Iranians put out an
Fucking trying to do, he did it with the Mexican cartel. He did it with Maduro, even though that went swimmingly.
AI video showing
Did anything change?
that this airbase was going to be targeted in the event of any attack by the United States or by Israel on Iran. And
Of course, Trump supporters
this
don't
has
care.
been
No, they
part of
absolutely do
Iran's
not.
wider pressure campaign against
No, you can't. If you deport all the fucking weird brown kids, quote unquote, from a chatter, then you dipshit, you're going into this. You will be the fodder.
countries
You don't make enough money to not be.
like Jordan, like UAE.
Thank God I'm the age I am. They can't fucking draft my ass. I'm outside of that unless they go and change that, you know.
Like Saudi Arabia, etc.,
Make the fucking age 60 now.
to basically tell them if you are
Which
hosting
a lot of
US
MAGA then gonna be like, oh, wait a minute, I don't, my sciatica, I can't go into wars.
military capabilities, regardless of whether you are letting those military capabilities be used in any attack on Iran, it doesn't matter to Iran. Iran will still see those as legitimate targets and will strike back. Now, I have to say, for the moment,
Get fucked, racist.
Jordan seems to have got away relatively unscathed, but you know, this is very
I put up
early
with it for one chat.
on in this
If you're gonna keep fucking spamming the like that, get fucked, you fucking weirdo.
conflict, and things are
Again, if these are a bunch of like teens in here, I genuinely hope they go. I do. At this point, it will be fucking just like, okay, hey, you know what? Fun to watch.
certainly able
Support your troops.
to
Support the U.S. troops. Yeah, okay.
to escalate. Other countries in the region, we've been seeing attacks in Bahrain and
Wait a minute, Pinkerbell, you were in Top Chat?
UAE, in Saudi Arabia and Iraq as well, are not quite have not escaped as quite as unscathed as Jordan has at the moment. But I think we have heard about 40 minutes ago the all-clear air raid siren going out, suggesting that the danger has passed for the moment. But we understand that there could be fresh barrages on the way at any moment.
Rory Challens live for us in Amman, Jordan. Rory, thank you.
Just as the strikes began, President Trump posted this message on social media.
Hey, you.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime.
No, it's a difference, dude. I don't think that I'm like the smartest person in the room. I don't fucking ever claim to
A
be.
vicious
I just know that I'm smart enough to see this for
group
what it is. And the fact that people are out here already pivoting where they're just like, yeah, this is base as fuck. Oh, he said that he was like Tim Pool. I actually, I quote tweeted Tim Pool today because he was saying, Donald Trump was out there. I get to pretend to be Tim Pool. Oh, sweet. Donald Trump ran on war with Iran. You guys forget. He said that this was going to happen. So, you know what? No, he was never the peacetime president. He was never he didn't want to be a peace president. He didn't really want to end wars. He said that he was going to start a war with Iran. He totally said that. Tim Pool said so. I said so. Kickflip.
very hard, terrible
God, yeah, we're going to be watching this for a few times today because, number one, the fact that he had to wear the hat means that the toupee was gone or his hair exposed all the baldness. So can we just admit that it's a little weird looking at, you know, he looks like he belongs on the golf course here, which is kind of fucked up. And just in general, Terra, we're doing the Terra thing again.
Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States.
Weapons of mass destruction. They had them weapons. They had so many of them. But you know what? We went in there. We took care of them. We did so good. We took care of all the nuclear weapons. That's why we need to go in there and do it again. It's kind of like doing surgery or having a little bit of cancer. We need to do the chemotherapy first, but then have some surgery. You know what? It's gonna make everybody healthier.
Our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 46.
How is he protecting the American people by putting our soldiers directly in danger in a conflict that we did not have any part? There was no conflict. Iran did not do anything to us. There was no terrorist attack. There was nothing. You dumb motherfuckers. Jesus Christ. No wonder they didn't need a 9/11 this time. Because they genuinely have some of the dumbest cunts on the fucking face of the earth loving this shit, but again, not going to the recruiting office.
The Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign.
Again, get offline, get to your army recruiter if you think that this is awesome. I'm dead serious.
Campaign of bloodshed and mass murder.
I don't see you guys fighting for your country. I don't see you guys actually doing the hard work.
Targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a
Oh, okay. So now we're going back to the 1970s. Cool.
violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy
Cool,
in Tehran.
cool.
Holding dozens of
Now we're doing that whole thing where it's grievance. It's all about grievance. It's not about actual substance.
American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's
I'm thankful for Trump showing the inconsistency in anybody that supports him.
proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in
It's made it a lot easier to not take anybody who supports this shit seriously.
Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died.
Maybe. Again, maybe they were. We don't know, but you know what? We need something. I need something. I need a place filler in this speech.
Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime
He's the president of the United States, you dumb mother effer.
proxies have
Yes, he is going to, if he's always going to be in the news for doing something fucking stupid. But here you are defending him again. Yeah, he took over my life, but you guys have to put in double time to fucking come and do the fucking... Why? Why defend him? Again, if this is so popular, why are you even here?
continue to launch countless attacks against
You
American
guys should be very comfortable in thinking that, oh yeah, America loves this, but we know.
forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels in international shipping lanes. It's been mass.
Yeah, they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, so if you guys didn't get gas yesterday, I hope that you guys don't count on those gas prices remaining cheap.
Terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts.
Yes.
And it was Iran's proxy, Hamas, that
Why fight a war for Israel?
launched the
Because these people don't care.
monster.
It's got people like us, people with brains that don't want war, that actually don't want war. Like, we're actually anti-war. They are so happy just to see everybody get mad. Again, no substance.
This October 7th.
Sitting here talking about how, Donald Trump, Trump, he got rid of, I ended 8 wars. They called it the Trump peace. The peace agreement of Donald Trump, and then I started a new council, the Peace Council, or is that, I don't even remember what it's called. I just know that it's the Peace Council, and I'm glad I started that right before going to war. That wasn't even there. We had absolutely nothing to really do with, but you know what? We gotta support our Israeli counterparts because they got some pretty bad dirt on me. I have to say, if you guys thought the Epstein stuff was bad, just wait till you see what the Mossad agents have on me.
Attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. Iran is the world's #1 state sponsor of terror.
That's weird.
And just recently killed tens of
throwback.
thousands of its own citizens on
Fucking
the street as they protested. It has always been the policy of the United States, in particular, my administration, that this
My dentures didn't get stuck this time.
terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. I'll say it again. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
Okay. I thought you already took care of that. So are you admitting that you didn't? Cool.
That is why in Operation
Cool.
Midnight Hammer last June, we obliterated the regime's nuclear program at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan.
Did Orange Man just kick off WW3? Yes.
After that attack, we warned
Yeah, because again, people don't they kind of forgot that, China and Russia have deals with Iran, and closing the Strait of Hormuz is literally an act of aggression against the entire planet,
them never to resume their malicious pursuit of nuclear weapons.
which they're going to say that, yeah, the U.S. forced that.
And we sought repeatedly to make a deal. We tried. They wanted
Yeah, the traitor's the one who's bombing Iran for a foreign nation. Yeah, without getting the approval of Congress.
to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to
Oh, okay. Again, so comfortable in knowing that this is not WW3 territory that you had to just come out and say it, huh?
do it. They didn't want
Again, you guys clown yourself with every fucking
to
comment.
do it. They didn't know what was happening.
Trump rules your life as I'm sitting here defending him. And you know what? This isn't World War III, even though
They
this is
just
bad.
wanted to practice evil. But Iran refused.
Man, you guys are about to go through some shit that I went through. I lost 2 friends in the fucking stupid war of Iraq that are, again, I can't even call it a war because it was never formally declared. So the occupation of Iraq.
Just as it has for decades and decades, they've rejected every opportunity to renounce their nuclear ambitions, and we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild their nuclear program and to continue developing long-range missiles that can now threaten our very good friends and allies in Europe, our
You care so much about them, you left the UN.
troops stationed overseas,
This motherfucker.
and could soon reach the American
Oh
homeland.
my God, he doesn't this is my favorite part. Is the true TDS is the people that still support him for everything that he does and not recognize the geopolitical destabilization that he's caused.
Just imagine
And again, handing over all these W's to fucking China. Holy fuck.
how emboldened this regime would be if they ever had and actually were armed with nuclear weapons as a means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles
Which was what in the Middle East?
and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again,
Oh my God, he's gonna do the mission accomplished thing too.
obliterated.
He already did. He already did. I got rid of the nuclear missiles, but we need to go back in there just to make sure that they can't have them nuclear missiles.
We're going to annihilate
I'm gonna keep repeating that one because yeah, that's where we're at.
their
And that's what you're defending, you dummies.
Navy. We're going
Like, what the fuck?
to ensure that the region's
Oh, my
terrorist
God.
proxies can no longer
Again,
destabilize
get to the recruiting office, you bunch of pansies. Since you guys are fucking really happy about this shit, I'm going to keep repeating that. And honestly, if I keep seeing you in my chat, like if you guys are in my chat in the next half hour, that's just hard bans for everybody that isn't at their army recruiting station,
region or the world
using their full throats with this one.
and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to
Really bringing out all the fucking classics from the 2003.
so gravely wound and kill thousands
Peace through strength. You fucking dumbass. Look up how many people died during the conflict of Afghanistan and Iraq.
and thousands
Yeah. Peace through strength. You fucking.
of people.
Wow. Guys, at this point, we deserve it. We really do. If there's enough of these people out there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We didn't do enough to fucking actually have an effect, like, on education or any of this shit. This is insane.
Including many Americans.
Whatever,
And
man.
we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
Okay. I thought that you already attacked their bases in that fucking last operation you did that you claimed victory on. So are you admitting that you guys lied? Is that what this is?
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge.
Yes, Iran has been under tyrannical rule. That doesn't give us the right to go in and just fucking start bombing them. That's like, again, you guys could argue that the world now sees us as under a tyrannical fucking rule. So
Challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration. And
yeah, Iran's governance is none of our business. Well, no, they did this with Venezuela, too. This is why whenever they were running the numbers and they said, like, only 5% support this, trust me, the numbers will come out and it's going to be like 30%, 40%, trust me. This is how it goes. And it goes back to his tweets. It's just like, oh, you know what Obama's going to do? Obama's going to fucking bomb Iran because of his low approval numbers. Here. In order to get elected, at Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. At Barack Obama will attack Iran in order to get reelected. I predict that President Obama will at some point attack Iran to save face. Remember that I predicted a long time ago that President Barack Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled.
Close to it.
I love that we have receipts. At least with this digital age that has definitely dumbed these motherfuckers down to this point, we have the receipts of him just saying this shit.
Power,
but cool.
Strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not make this statement lightly, the Iranian regime seeks to kill the lives of courageous Americans.
The size of Iran and mountains should scare anybody that I know that was in the military has said that this was a fucking horrible idea, and that if anybody thinks that this is going to end quickly, they are certifiably retarded.
Heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war, but we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
You do understand with that thought process of screw the world and what they think. Leave Iran as a... Yeah, cool.
We pray for every service member.
We don't give a shit about sovereignty.
As they selflessly risk their lives to ensure that Americans and our children will never be threatened by a nuclear-armed Iran.
Get to the recruiting offices.
We ask God to protect all of our heroes.
Hey, JS, why aren't you in the military right now? Like, seriously.
In harm's way, and we trust that with...
You already fucking proved that you are kind of, wrong about everything, including the Epstein stuff, but, yeah. Prove how much you love Donald Trump and how much you love the idea of going to war by going and signing up for the military. Since you support this so much, man, I'm not even fucking kidding with this one.
With his help, the men and women of the armed forces,
our favorite debater is here,
will prevail. We have the greatest in the world, and they will prevail. To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary
victim blaming the Epstein victims before anybody else.
Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or in the alternative, face certain death. So, lay down your arms. You will be treated fairly with total immunity.
What up, Glitch Master? How you doing?
Certain death. Finally,
they're
to
too
the
dumb for the military.
Of Iran,
well, yeah,
I say tonight that
for real, they also can't do a fucking push-up. I was saying this yesterday.
The hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it.
Trump will make Iran great again? Well, yeah, okay, totally fits America first. Now I understand why MAGA's losing so much support.
No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond.
No, JS, I've just watched enough of your content to know that you're actually kind of a piece of shit.
America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash.
That's what I got from the whole debate thing with you.
The prosperous
again, have fun with that.
Glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for
The moment that you lost your own audience with that one, too, by the way.
action. Do not let it pass.
Hey, thanks for the
May
win.
God bless the brave men and women of America's armed forces. May
Trump has a 64% approval rating. Okay.
God bless the
Okay.
United States of America. May
Holy shit.
God bless you all.
And that was posted at about 2:30 a.m. Eastern time by the president. And since then, we saw, of course, the strike across many cities in Iran and the retaliatory
The president cannot unilaterally declare war. Only Congress can.
strikes
We've
across
already been through this.
several states and countries there in the region. The UAE reporting that one person was killed by debris falling from one of the intercepts of a ballistic missile from Iran. Let's talk now about the political implications of this operation.
I don't give a shit what Biden's rating was. It was low because even I didn't approve of him.
Errol Lewis,
It's not the W you think it is.
political anchor for Spectrum
You keep forgetting we're in the second year of Trump. If you're still bringing up Biden in the second year when this is the shit he's doing,
News and the host of The Big Deal with Errol Lewis.
I think they
Errol,
need
good
to
morning
update
you.
that
And before
bot.
we get into those specific elements, let's back up just a bit. I mean, the world is awake and watching this, but put this into a domestic political context. Just the moment that we're watching in President Trump's time in office.
wait, you're not JS Urban Adventures, you're just JS Adventures, so
And the gravity of the address we just played in
different
full.
person?
Good morning, Victor. It's interesting that this should be happening right now. There was a poll taken just a couple of days ago, the Associated Press has reported, saying that people have, by and large, Americans have very little confidence in this president to handle a situation of exactly this sort. People are worried.
That tracks.
The majority of voters are worried.
Yeah, 64%.
About nuclear-armed Iran. But an overwhelming majority say they are not entirely comfortable with Donald Trump as the person to try and solve the situation. And so I think when you see that there is this arms buildup, there's this troop buildup, the world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, steaming into the region, we know that there's a lot of force being directed at Iran, but it's really telling that there's no troop presence. And the president's address really confirmed that. It's not a full-scale invasion. He wants to try and get out of this or get through this, maybe provoke regime change without a lot of American casualties, because I think the White House knows very well that the people are not necessarily behind this, and that what starts out as uncertainty can turn into direct political opposition if this goes on for too long.
Trump speedrunning towards his Nobel War Prize. You know what? I made them change the name. It was that easy.
Chris Coons of Delaware. He is a longtime member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Senator, thank you very much for joining our breaking news coverage here.
Okay, so first Democrat that I've heard shit from. That's nice.
On Tuesday, there was supposed to be, or the anticipation of a vote on the War Powers Resolution related to Iran. And now here we are, Saturday morning, and the United States, along with Israel, have undertaken strikes in Iran. What
Tree? Yes, I have.
What purpose would a vote on Tuesday be for a War Powers Resolution, assuming that there will be?
Again, I had to listen to everybody talking from MAGA talking about how no new wars. We don't want to spend money on Ukraine. We don't want to be the world police. America first. America first.
Be a vote.
So I took you guys at your word, and I took the movement at its word
on Tuesday.
If that's TDS, then I don't know. I got nothing for you. Is everything that you guys say just a whole bunch of bullshit and you don't believe in anything? Is that what it is?
Jonathan,
You're just a bunch of fucking black pill nihilists that love just to see this shit happen because you think it's funny?
Not how a democracy is supposed to go to war. With an abrupt declaration by our president in the middle of the night, with no justification that it is an imminent or preemptive strike, that there is a clear imminent threat to the American people. And so the purpose of a War Powers Act vote by the Senate would be to put the Senate on record that President Trump launched a broad
Trust me, this is smart because they did this in 03 and everybody that voted for that War Powers Act was ousted by 08.
spectrum war against Iran, a large Middle East country that is a terrorist regime, that is a brutal country that has massacred its own
Anything short of sucking him off is TDS to these people. Yep.
civilians. That is absolutely one of the pariah states of the world, but he launched it without any real.
Hey, Danal, since apparently you're like 12 and you didn't live through 9/11 and like everything that happened past that, they're using the same playbook but a lot dumber.
Consultation with Congress.
Again, there was national animus post 9/11, so a lot of people, they still had like that whole, like, they were ravenous at that point. They didn't care who we went after. They just wanted someone to pay for what was done to us. So that's why it was easier to justify the Iraq shit.
Or
this one, we have all the post-nut clarity of just leaving Afghanistan and looking back at this war and just being like, Jesus, we wasted how much money? We killed how many people? We wasted how many soldiers' lives? Yeah, we don't really have an appetite for that. But within, what 2 years? Not even 2 years? Like, again, go back to his campaign about what he was saying about being the anti-war president.
American people.
Like, come on.
In his State of the Union address.
Is that what I'm going to have to do today? Am I just going to have to go look up old Trump clips of him just being like, oh, but I mean, we already got the tweets. Again, I got the old tweets right here. I made sure to pull those up. Again, in order to get elected or to get reelected, Barack Obama will start a war with Iran. Remember, I predicted this a long time ago. President Obama will attack Iran because of his inability to negotiate properly, not skilled.
A brief reference to a broad range of concerns about Iran that, frankly, any president could have raised in the last decade.
He just says things.
And I'll remind you, Jonathan,
we already know he's a liar.
Yes. Ago, he carried
well, I mean, some of us. Again, 27% of this country just loves this dude, and they will take everything he has to say as gospel.
Out a strike against Iran that supposedly obliterated its nuclear weapons capabilities. So either it did or didn't obliterate those nuclear weapons capabilities. To say that they now pose an imminent threat to the United States flies in the face of what he's previously said. I am praying for our service members, for our soldiers and sailors and airmen who are now in harm's way, for the civilians throughout the region who will be impacted by it. And I have prayers of hope for some restoration of stability and peace. But given what's just been launched, given this reckless new war, I'm gravely concerned that what we're going to see in the coming weeks and months is the United States going back into a large and uncontrollable war in the Middle East.
Again, billions and billions of dollars to Ukraine, but we're going to have to send billions and billions of dollars to our own military for this to even continue. And then, yeah.
Just 5
You don't care. You don't fucking care.
years after we ended.
Stop.
The 2 longest wars in our history.
Jesus Christ, you bunch of regime assholes.
You mentioned the civilians that will be impacted by this. President Trump
cheering on the fucking like demise of the the actual idea of America as a superpower.
His video that he posted to Truth
All
Social.
because one man's ego is more important than actually like supporting your country.
He mentioned the Iranian people and had a message for them. Let's play that and I'll talk to you on the other side.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond.
The president saying no president was willing to do what I am willing to do when it comes to the next steps and telling the people of Iran to take over. There's the question of who, right? The Shah's son has seemingly said, even before this, that he would be interested in being in the interim. But what kind of support can the Iranian people depend on from the United States if they are to participate in regime change?
Look, the president did not say there will be no American boots on the ground, but I certainly hope that is his position. It is obviously desirable for there to be a change in the government in Iran. The mullahs, the ayatollahs, since they took over in '79, have brutally repressed their own people, and the blood of many Americans are on the hands of the Iranian regime, from their attacks against the Marine barracks in Lebanon to Khobar Towers to the IEDs that they helped our opponents.
Again, doing this thing where we're just going to have like a list of bad shit that they've done that we never responded to, that doesn't fly.
Opponents in Iraq used to
if we're going to do that, then God damn it, I hope you understand that the world has a long laundry list of bad shit that we've done
against Americans. So I will in no way grieve the passing of the Iranian regime if that's what happens. But your question to me is, what kind of support can the civilians of Iran, if they go out into the streets in big numbers, expect? And I think for now, very little. Potential missile strikes against the IRGC headquarters, the intelligence service headquarters. But on the ground, day to day, I think the repressive machinery of the regime in Iran will remain capable of imposing brutal costs on those who try to overthrow the government. And the opposition in Iran is divided and successfully largely repressed. So I appreciate the hopefulness of President Trump calling on the Iranian people to rise up, but I think their prospects will be dim, and I think the IRGC will be brutal in its insistence on retaining the control of the regime.
Senator Coons, I just got off the phone with a former Trump administration official who was involved with some of the Iran policymaking in Trump 1, who commented that he could see Marco Rubio's fingerprints all over this plan. As we've seen with a lot of the foreign policy coming out of this Trump administration, he's someone that you worked with closely. You voted to confirm him. You served together on the Foreign Relations Committee. I'm wondering what about your time working with Rubio you now see reflected in what the administration is doing, and how you feel like Rubio's influence has been pretty significant on the direction that the administration has gone in with the culmination of this attack that we're seeing on Iran right now.
Here's what I'm stunned is not reflected.
Okay, so what's fake about this? I'm so sick of the fucking fake news bullshit. They're literally giving you what is happening in the fucking world. The same story that everybody else is. Point out what's fake about this. I'm genuinely asking, since you have so much confidence in MS Now being fake news, what's fake?
Reflected.
Please elaborate. But no, you can't, because it's all just buzzwords with you fuckers. Like, you guys have nothing. You have nothing but, I don't like it, so it's fake.
Is an aggressor against.
But the guy who's an obvious liar, always telling the truth.
Ukraine, and that
you have TDS.
Putin and Putin's Russia poses a real and present danger to.
That's your entire personality summed up right there.
The stability and security of Europe and of NATO.
Awesome.
In his speech at the Munich Security Conference that I attended recently,
never have to wonder why people
Marco
love
Rubio
you.
failed to identify Putin's Russia as the aggressor. And the absence of a clear-eyed focus on our major global threat, the People's Republic of China. I know that Secretary.
How do you know? Did you ask all of them?
Senator Rubio.
Wait, you have that much access into Iran? Wait a minute. Whoa, that's crazy.
Rubio was.
You actually have the ability to break news way better than the news does. Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you a journalist? What's going on?
Well aware that we are overstretched, and that if our adversaries, which principally includes China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran, see us as overextended and incapable of meeting our commitments.
These guys will suck Israel's dick right off.
We are at risk of them taking bold action against us. I do think that Senator Rubio was more inclined towards muscular foreign policy than I was. I see the risks in this moment in opening a new broad-spectrum war with Iran. He may see the prospects of a change of government at a moment when the Iranian regime is the weakest it's ever been. They were making real progress in negotiations. The Omani foreign minister was just saying that this morning. And I think they should have continued pressuring the administration.
It's just fake I know. It's Israeli bots. Yeah, I know.
Should have continued pressuring the Iranian regime as hard as possible, pulling together support from our allies to renew the pressure
Bunch of Mossad accounts
on Iran and to push for them to make changes internally and for them to concede their nuclear program, which I think they were on the verge of doing.
Senator Coons, as I said in the intro, you a longtime member of the House. I'm sorry.
Actually, these you know what? These sock puppet accounts. I was actually wondering, do you guys have to like take breaks from stealing land in the West Bank, like to do your little tweets? It's like, hold on. Here, continue. No, you can totally continue holding him up. Just hold on. I got to send this tweet real quick. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on. I got a live stream. I got to... No, it's okay. We already got the land? All right, cool. Well, back to work.
That's a longtime member of the Senate Foreign Relations.
There will be no draft.
Committee.
That's hilarious. You know what? This is the whole point that I was making about there not being a 9/11. During 9/11, you had a bunch of high schoolers that thought that it was what they needed to do because it was a spiritual thing for them. Because it felt like we were all connected at that point. They don't have that now. No high schoolers are signing up for the military. Again, if you look at our actual, our personnel numbers in our military, they are so much lower than every other fucking military, of this, Russia, China, the main superpowers that we tend to fucking pay attention to.
Have lots.
So if you think that that's not going to lead to them drafting people, you have another thing coming, my man. And also, they're going to do a soft draft by doing, we're going to give you a $50,000 signing or $50,000 signing bonus, kind of like ICE. Look, we did it with ICE. We'll do it for the military too.
Of friends,
which then they're not going to actually give it to you.
And colleagues overseas.
Pay for college. Then you're not going to go to college.
Past military efforts, the United States could always count on.
So yes, there's going to be a soft draft, and then if that doesn't work, there's going to be a hard draft, which
I'm thinking particularly of the United Kingdom.
The only reason that you're repeating what I just said, agreed. Plus, America won't do a draft.
Kingdom, sometimes France, Canada. What are you hearing, if anything?
That's how I know that it is breaking through, or it's just like, again, you guys wouldn't have to fucking sit here and convince yourselves.
Allies.
Draft the rich kids? That's not how that goes.
The action taken today by President Trump.
They'll get
Jonathan, a series of mixed responses. Look, all the nations you just cited see Iran as an aggressor, as a supporter of terrorism. Their ballistic missile program, their support for proxies, their efforts at nuclear enrichment have enjoyed.
We went over, 25 years without doing this? Why is this the problem now when we knew this was a problem the entire time? Odd.
Widespread condemnation from the United Nations.
Yes, Mossad accounts.
From our core allies over decades. That's why they work so closely with us to put pressure on Iran and to force them to the table under the Obama administration. That's why I thought there was possibility now for us to achieve a stronger, better, longer deal with Iran, one that wouldn't have a sunset and that would not have allowed them to do any significant nuclear.
It's so sad to see people buying into anything Trump says or any politician because they're almost all bought and paid for by Israel. Fuck Israel.
Their statements so far this morning have been neutral or cautious. I believe the Canadians have actually put out a statement in support. The Europeans have mostly said that they hope we will de-escalate and return to negotiations.
The Europeans, and I know that the UK has said that they're just not going to give us any support in this. I know that Canada said that they're not going to give us any support in this. So
it is,
leading back to that. If you don't think the draft is coming, there, buddy,
unusual for us to.
They don't have enough fucking contractors to hold the line on this one.
Go to war with only one ally alongside us, but this is a war that the United States and Israel have launched together. In every previous war of any significance in the Middle East and elsewhere, we've had dozens of allies in the fight alongside us, and often either congressional explicit authorization UN authorization, or both. As I said at the beginning,
so glad that he got that authorization. Oh, he didn't. That's right.
this isn't how
That's right. That was technically an impeachable offense. Oops.
democracy is supposed to go to war.
Senator Chris Coons.
This was his bet, though, was, you know what? I can just declare a state of emergency and then I can be president forever.
Thank you for joining us
We're going to be in a forever war.
on this historic morning.
Kind of, putting a little damper on that. Oh, it's only going to be a few days.
Explosions rocked multiple cities across Iran, including its capital, Tehran. Videos from Tehran show smoke. You see it here billowing over the city. And now we're getting reports of explosions in Gulf Arab countries hosting U.S. military bases. Live look now at Abu Dhabi, where explosions were reported, in addition to Bahrain and Qatar. A video now of an explosion in Bahrain. Officials say a missile hit the service center of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet in the country. These strikes happened barely a day
This is the war that Trump and Israel launched, yeah.
after the latest round of
Oh, no, but no. All mainstream media. See, this is my favorite part, is the fake news part. They technically are right about that because of how CNN and all the news and the mainstream media was going to get behind this anyway. They didn't even need to be run by MAGA. This is just how the American media has always worked. It's manufacturing consent.
Direct nuclear talks.
Trust me, went through it.
Talks between Iran and the U.S.
What up, Peach Creek?
And sources tell CNN the U.S. military is planning for these attacks to last for days. Israel said the same, and both President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are now.
I've never met you before, but I'm damn sorry for your wife. Your wife is unwell. Let me contribute. I appreciate that. You can, contribute through subs, or I have a
regime change.
Link in my description.
To the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be...
Thank you for the tier 1 gifted sub. I really appreciate that, man.
Yours to take.
Also, thank you for subbing.
This will be probably your only chance for generations.
Yeah, Iran media reported just hours ago that Iran already launched dozens of ballistic missiles at Israel. And Qatari...
I'm not sure if my wife is in chat right now.
Officials say that Qatar already intercepted 2 Iranian missiles, indicating Iran is carrying out that plan to retaliate. And our team is up and covering this breaking story from around the world. We'll get to Zach Cohen and Elena Treen in just a moment, but I want to start with CNN's Jeremy Diamond first. He's in Tel Aviv.
This person's literally talking about some of the fake videos because there are no videos of Iranians coming out right now. They are sheltering in fucking place.
Jeremy,
because we are still actively bombing these people.
Have any of the Iron Dome intercepted any of those missiles? Is there a timing on when those might...
Again, Mossad accounts. Love it.
Arrive.
Well, we certainly know that Iran has already fired a barrage of ballistic missiles at Israel. We had sirens going off not only here in Tel Aviv, but also in Jerusalem, in northern Israel, in southern Israel. Pretty much Israelis everywhere across the country. Millions heading to bomb shelters as those ballistic missiles came in. It does appear that there were several intercepts. We have not yet gotten reports of any actual impacts as a result of those ballistic missiles. But all of this kicked off this morning around 8:15 a.m. local time. Israelis were woken to the sound of sirens, not announcing incoming missiles, but rather alerting Israelis to this new state of emergency that is in place as Israel announced that it had struck targets in Iran. We then
No, I just saw the same thing with Venezuela, but then you actually talk to, anybody else.
Learned that it was
They're just like, yeah, there's a few people that are going to support. It's kind of the same way that, if this happened to us, you would see a lot of people out in the streets, rallying. But if it was the left, would you be that happy about that? Would you be disingenuously using it as a fucking talking point on a random stream, or would you just be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe
just Israel, but that these are joint.
Maybe things are not as maybe things are more nuanced, and I'm not really an expert in any of this, and I really don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Strikes carried out.
Because you do understand that, again, when you cut off the head of any of these organizations, right, it leaves a power vacuum. And that's not just going to solve itself.
Out by the United States, and
I know you guys think that we're going to install the son of the Shah or some shit like that. I keep hearing that.
The Israeli militaries.
Since you care so much about the Iranian people and loving how they're out there celebrating, why don't you go ask them if they're big fans of that?
Targeting a range of targets inside of Iran.
It's almost like you don't give a shit about their sovereignty at all.
There were dozens of targets.
Do you want them to make the choice for themselves?
That were struck by both militaries. We have been watching, of course, for
leftist
weeks.
outlets like Sinclair Broadcasting.
Now, as the United States,
you do understand that Sinclair is like a huge conglomerate that's has a majority share owned by Viacom, who's owned by Ellison, who is a fucking Trumper. You guys don't know what you're talking about. That's my favorite part about how fucking confident you are in your stupidity. It's awesome.
States has been carrying out this enormous military buildup in the region, but simultaneously a diplomatic track was taking place. But this morning, that diplomatic track was completely cast aside in favor of this military action by the United States and Israel. We heard from President Trump making clear that this is not just about...
The weird part was the narrative last night was that this was an Israeli strike and it was done with intelligence by the U.S. But now it's come out that this is just a U.S. strike.
About going after Iran's ballistic missile and nuclear programs, but setting the conditions for regime change. And we have heard similar comments as well from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. We know now that Israel is at a very heightened state of awareness. Most Israelis are either in their bomb shelters or very
they have
close
most
by, awaiting
scripted.
the ramifications of this, as we are already...
Most of these are Mossad, these are Mossad accounts. I'm not even kidding.
Already watching Iran.
These are all either bots or these are people paid by Mossad.
Launch missiles not only here, but at other sites
I was expecting that
across the Middle
today.
East. Victor.
Jeremy Diamond for us there in Tel Aviv. We will get back to you in just a few moments. President Trump is monitoring the strikes from his Mar-a-Lago resort, and he calls on Iranians to stand up to their government and warns the fight could put American lives in danger.
Oh, so he's going to have his mock-up situation room where he's also got his little... Is he going to have the TV with his Twitter feed on there?
He also says the U.S. has done everything it can to keep American troops safe in the region. Earlier, President Trump explained the mission behind the operation.
That's why every fucking commander was just like, don't do this.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the
As I said, we're going to see a lot of this today.
Regime, a vicious group of very hard.
I'm glad that they had to wake him up in the middle of the night, and he legit looks like this is not the presidential look, man.
People. Its menacing
people give me
activities
shit for
directly
wearing a hat.
endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries.
Watching
All right, let's bring in
strikes from
CNN.
his house, or from his house, essentially, not national security risk at all.
Elena Treen, she's reporting from Palm Beach, Florida. Elena, the president said on Friday that he was not happy with where the talks were with Iran, and now we're seeing the consequences of that.
Absolutely, and I think you're right to point out that the context of all of this is incredibly important. We had been hearing of Victor in recent days, really in the lead up until this strike, these strikes this morning, the president saying
all this to avoid releasing the rest of the files. Yep.
That he wanted
that he's totally not in
diplomacy. He was hoping a deal could be reached, and from all the conversations I had with people at the White House, that was sincere. But
Draft
of course,
ICE. Oh yeah, we should literally all of that. Those new ICE agents should just be reappropriated at this point.
At the same time, you saw the Trump administration and the president directly order the most massive military buildup in the region since essentially the 2003 war with Iraq. And so that leverage was there. And I think a lot of people were waiting to see whether the president would move on that. And of course, he did. I also found it very remarkable just to see the president in that video statement giving it and releasing it on social media, having that be the way that he delivered it. But look, there's a couple things I took away, Victor, from those remarks from the president. One is that he said that this is going to be a massive and ongoing operation.
The Epstein crusade.
And that comes as
this is the Epstein wars.
Sources are telling our colleague Zach Cohen and I that the United States is planning for there to be several attacks or several days of attacks. This is going to be a long operation and could
and they're counting on there being no counterattacks.
Ultimately be The largest military operation the president has ever overseen, including during his first term. But another moment that I found
You know what's coming up next? Be prepared to hear splinter cells.
very striking as well.
Be prepared to hear about, oh, we have to get these dangerous splinter cells. And then they're also going to try and, you know what? The left. These leftists, the radical left Democrats, they're in favor of these people, these horrible people.
That he essentially and effectively called for regime change in Iran. The president said in those remarks, quote, "When we are finished, take over your government." That was a message directly to the Iranian people. It will be yours to take. This will probably be your only chance for generations. That is a
Miss L, thank you for the sub.
Huge statement, particularly as really over the past year or so, ever since the president went into office for his second term, all of his top advisors were trying not to say that directly. And even though the president didn't say it directly, he came as close as he ever really has to acknowledging that one of the goals in this larger operation is to potentially see if the Iranian people can use this weakened state that the regime now finds
That's a good game.
itself in to kind of overthrow and push against the government there. So that was a remarkable thing as well.
The biggest thing that was with that game was the fact that Metal Gear Solid was out and it was a better game, but it's so different. It's Splinter Cell is like true espionage. It's in the vein of like more like a samurai dash like a ninja game, like Tenchu.
I think it's worth pointing out, and you
cannot stand this president. What a shill! Yeah, no shit.
This Victor, just how
Welcome
disappointed
to the
and
show,
frustrated
Plutonian
the
one.
president seemed yesterday when talking about the negotiations that were going on just 2 days ago in Geneva between the president's top advisors, Steve Witkoff, and his son-in-law Jared Kushner, with the Iranians and intermediaries in Switzerland, saying that they did not go far enough. And what we know that the United States wanted from Iran was to, one, be very clear that they had no goals and did not want to ever make a nuclear weapon, and also that they would commit to zero enrichment of uranium, things that the president argued they were not able to get to. And so that is what's led us to this moment. But of course, so many big questions.
Did you just say Tenchu? I love Tenchu.
I think
It's one of
that
my favorite games.
many Americans still have.
Tenchu 2 is one of the best fucking PlayStation games.
About what the future of this is going to look like. And that has been a big struggle for a lot of people I know in the White House and the top levels of the administration. There are a lot of Americans and a lot of Republicans, I should say, many members of the Republicans base who do not want the United States involved in another foreign war, and particularly a protracted, long.
All right, I like that we have agreement that Tenchu based
engagement. And we've actually heard some of that pushback from members of Congress this morning making that point. And so that is going to be a crucial thing that the president and this White House needs to do moving forward, is to articulate exactly what their goal is as we move ahead in the days ahead with these operations.
Yeah, we'll expect that the recorded message that the president posted will not be the last we hear from him on justification for these strikes, considering that his
I think he's going
promise
live here
to the
in a
American
minute,
people was that there would be no new wars ahead of his.
Yeah, thank you for fucking, I don't know, finally bringing up just the facts that he said that this would not be a thing, but okay. Ooh, we got a we have an anti-war protest breaking out in Chicago right now.
We've had a lot of people from other states come to Minnesota who are picking up tricks and tips and planning and information that they'll need when ICE comes to their town next, because it's not stopping here.
I apologize. I think you may have mentioned
you've had quite the day today.
I just didn't.
How are you doing with that? Do they have you go into the shelters at all, or what's going on, Ryan?
Register for me. Where in Minnesota are you from?
We're from east of St.
All right, I'm not doing this fucking noise bullshit. Here is the live look at Tehran right now, or Tel Aviv, not Tehran. I had a camera that had Tehran, but it was taken down. Okay.
Blasts have been heard from the beaches of Dubai to the streets of Abu Dhabi. This is an unprecedented attack by Iran on what it says are U.S. military targets across.
Wait, you voted for? So when you voted for Trump, did you vote for no new wars and America first, or did you vote for him being a war profiteer fucking king president.
Gulf nations.
Which one is it?
So here in Abu Dhabi, we have heard
Very
multiple
odd.
explosions. The Ministry of Defense says that they have intercepted a number of missiles, but they also say that fallen debris has killed one person. Now, they have called it a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic missiles. We've also seen smoke rising from the Al Dhafra military base here in Abu Dhabi, suggesting that maybe not all of those missiles were intercepted. There is an official shelter in place at the moment. The airspace is closed. This is not a country that is accustomed to this level of military attack. Here in the UAE, blasts have been heard from the beaches of Dubai to the streets of Abu Dhabi. This is an unprecedented attack by Iran on what it says are US military targets across Gulf nations. So here in Abu Dhabi, we have heard multiple explosions. The Ministry of Defense says that they have intercepted a number of missiles, but they also say that fallen debris has killed one person. Now, they have called it a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic missiles. We've also seen smoke rising from the Al Dhafra military base here in Abu Dhabi, suggesting that maybe not all of those missiles were intercepted. There is an official shelter in place at the moment. The airspace is closed. This is not a country that is accustomed to this level of military attack.
In and out the whole day.
Blasts have been heard
Seems
from
quiet
the
right now.
beaches of Dubai to the streets of Abu Dhabi. This is an unprecedented attack by Iran on what it says are US military
Ryan, what time
targets
is it?
across
You know what,
Gulf
I can just look.
nations.
Never mind.
So here in Abu Dhabi, we have heard multiple explosions. The Ministry of Defense says that they have
9:07 p.m.
intercepted a
Okay.
number of missiles, but they also say that fallen debris has killed one person. Now, they have called it a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic
By the way, that whole like debris falling, this is from way earlier. Now they've confirmed over 60 plus dead,
missiles.
and one of them was a school.
We've also seen smoke rising from the Al Dhafra military base here in Abu Dhabi, suggesting that maybe not all of those missiles
Talk to
were
people who don't see the big picture unless offers to denigrate them because they're either willfully stupid or bots.
intercepted. There is an official shelter in place at the moment. The airspace is closed.
What are you doing?
This is not a country that is accustomed to this level of military attack. Here in the UAE, blasts have been heard from the beaches of Dubai to the streets of Abu Dhabi. This is an unprecedented
I don't know who
attack
started it,
by
but I'm
Iran
ending
on
it.
what it says are US military targets across Gulf nations. So here in Abu Dhabi, we have heard multiple explosions.
Who's Ryan? Someone? Yeah.
The Ministry of
yeah.
Defense
He's been
says
a
that they
long.
have
He's a long time.
intercepted a number of missiles,
Viewer of the
but
show.
they also say that
He's in Tel Aviv,
fallen
I
debris
think.
has killed one person.
I know
Now,
he's
they
in
have
Israel.
called it a blatant attack involving Iranian ballistic missiles. We've also seen smoke rising from the Al Dhafra military base here in Abu Dhabi, suggesting that maybe not all of those missiles were intercepted. There is an official shelter in place at the moment. The airspace is closed. This is not a country
You bugging? Fight for, Def Jam. Fight for New York. Yeah, it's a good fighting game.
that is
I'll give you that.
accustomed to this level of military attack. Here in the UAE, blasts have been heard from the beaches of Dubai to the streets of Abu Dhabi. This is an unprecedented attack by Iran on what it says are US military targets across Gulf nations. So here in Abu Dhabi, we have heard multiple explosions. The Ministry of Defense says that they have intercepted a number of missiles.
Don't ask me who's in charge because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial. What does that mean? It means we're in charge.
We're not afraid of boots on the ground if we have to have. We had boots on the ground last night. We're going to make sure that that country is run properly.
Great nations do not want to fight endless wars.
So again, if this is what you voted for, right? This one, like this is what you voted for, or was it the other? Was it the other stuff? It's almost like they're totally contradictory of each other. So it's kind of proving a point.
We're getting out of the endless wars. We have to do it.
No new wars.
No new wars.
We don't
It's almost like they thought we were making this shit up.
need the wars foreign lands, countries you've never heard of, countries that don't even want us there.
Okay.
We will keep America out of foolish, stupid, ridiculous foreign wars. The plan is
okay
to get out of endless wars.
Things changed? What?
Wars.
What? What changed? Please explain.
To bring our
Nothing's changed in Iran. He even said that's the reason that we're there is because nothing's changed.
Soldiers back home tonight.
It's almost like you're full of shit. You know it.
Be policing agents all over the world.
Because you're watching him in real time go, no new wars, no new wars. I said no new wars. Why? Why would we go and spend so much money on these wars that they don't give us anything?
We were crazy what we did. We had these endless wars that go on for 21, 22 years.
No, Iran did not attack a naval base. You were just blatantly fucking lying right there.
They're spending billions and billions
of
dollars.
For that one, you're getting banned. You gotta fucking, if you're gonna just blatantly fucking lie, get out. They attacked a naval base. You're so full of shit. It is coming out your ears.
A missile fragment falling to the ground and exploding in Doha, the capital of Qatar. It's part of the retaliation from Iran after the U.S. and Israel launched a massive and ongoing
my blood pressure is very steady.
Military campaign across Iran. U.S. embassies across the region are now telling Americans to shelter in place, and just in, the State Department is now urging all U.S. citizens in Lebanon to get out while commercial options.
Oh, what? You're telling me that it's not going to just be just relegated to Iran? You're telling me that, oh, this just created a new source of forever war in the Middle East? What? I thought we were doing peace in the Middle East. Why did we just all of a sudden do this strange pivot? I thought that Jared Kushner was literally going to solve all of these crises. What is going on, guys? It's almost like MAGA lied to us. Oh,
let's go live right now to CNN's Paula Hancock, who's joining us from Abu Dhabi. Paula, you and your team,
James 22. I'll catch you later, man.
Are hearing new explosions where you.
And again, thank you for the subs. I really appreciate that.
You are all the time, right?
Appreciate the support.
Yes, Wolf, there was another wave of incoming missiles, or at least we heard the blasts of what we assume to be the interceptions by the defense here in the UAE. This has been happening for hours now, so we're certainly seeing no let-up in the retaliation from Iran. We've heard from the Ministry of Defense here in Abu Dhabi saying that they have been intercepting missiles. They also say that one person has been killed by falling debris after an interception. We've seen images of smoke near the Al Dhafra
I thought China was the problem and they were the greatest threat.
Base here.
It changes with whatever need they with whatever one they need to fucking believe the next day.
In Abu Dhabi as well. So
again, if Donald Trump takes a shit and just goes, you know what? I'm going to annex the state of Wyoming. Who needs it? Wyoming. It's not like there's much there, and the Dakotas are next.
Potentially not all of those missiles.
They would just be like, yeah.
Were intercepted, but we're certainly seeing.
We need more money. Sell it to Canada. Make a deal.
No let up in this retaliation. We've seen it as well in Doha, in Qatar. They just recently had another wave of incoming missiles. Officials there saying that they are intercepting them as they come in. There are shelter-in-place orders across.
I'm guessing the midterms on Tuesday, November 3rd of 2026 are going to be canceled.
Gulf nations.
Again, man, if he wants to push us to like doing it like our own version of what he was claiming was happening in Iran, he can do that.
Airspace has been closed. We know in Bahrain.
He's been a really good boy through all this.
The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet is based. That they have been targeted as well.
Well, it's almost like that people forget that China holds most of our debt.
And the same in Kuwait. We have heard reports in Jordan as well.
War doesn't cancel elections.
There is anger as
tell that to Donald Trump, who apparently thinks that it does.
As well as...
Dude, he said it. The thing is, he says it. I'm not sure if you guys hear it because, like, I don't understand how people can love him so much but not listen to as much, like, media as we do. Like, we actually listen to almost everything this dude says, TDS and all. But when we do that, it's almost like we have more context for being, you know, outraged and just being in general, like, what? oh, it's crazy. And then when we just come out and say, hey, Donald Trump said this, you're like, fake news. It's all fake. It's all fake. And then when it happens, you're just like, no, I totally voted for this. It's almost like I said.
Concern amongst these Gulf nations that they have become targets themselves.
That's MAGA right there.
Many of them had said to the United States they were unable to use their bases if they were going to strike Iran. They had said that their airspace must not be used as well as they wanted to put.
It was targeted after we struck them. You do understand that we evacuated that Navy base, and then after we struck them, they destroyed that base that we already had evacuated. So nice try.
Distance, but
no, what you guys are doing is you're trying to do they attacked a naval base first, so this was retaliation. Nobody is saying that. She didn't even just say that.
Tweet.
Fucking Christ.
Themselves and what the US president was ultimately going to decide to do. We've heard statements, for example, from Saudi Arabia saying that they give the strongest condemnation of this blatant and cowardly Iranian attacks, also pointing out that they're...
How those, does Israel pay a lot to you guys to do their, like, the bot swatting for them?
Have been incoming into
paid
Riyadh.
Protesters in this chat, huh? Yeah, Israeli paid protesters.
In the eastern province. Qatar has called it a flagrant violation of its national sovereignty. The UAE condemning and denouncing this as well in the...
They're buying the peace through strength bullshit.
Strongest terms, the blatant Iranian missile attacks. So there is concern in these Gulf nations who are unaccustomed to this level of intense missile attack. But there is also anger that they have found themselves on the receiving end of this as well. Remember back in June when the US and Israel carried out those strikes on the nuclear facilities in Iran, it was Qatar only that was targeted, and that one was fairly restrained. That is not the case now.
You think this is dramatically in the next few days and maybe next few weeks going to dramatically escalate this war?
I think it has a potential of doing so, Wolf. And, what you're seeing is a very large Iranian response. And I think, it's going to be interesting to get the military assessment from places like CENTCOM to see if they had anticipated this kind of a reaction from the Iranians. They clearly anticipated some of that by evacuating some troops from some of these bases that you've mentioned in the Persian Gulf region. But I don't know if they've really anticipated the magnitude of this, because it looks like, we're looking at several hundred, if not a series of 1,000 drones heading toward Israel, and potentially other targets as well. And if you add that, couple that with missiles that the Iranians still have, it could be a fairly substantial response. The question then would be, though, what kind of...
Iran's about to find out why we don't have free health care.
Follow-up will the Iranians have?
How effective
God
is
damn
that
it.
Iron Dome anti-missile system
Bill
that Israel has
Ponderosa.
over
Good
the
one.
whole country in dealing with a lot of drones
Welcome to the
coming
show.
in from Iran?
By the way,
This is
guys,
what
if you're enjoying the
what
show,
Iranians are
please hit
trying
the
to
sub.
do, Wolf. The Iron Dome system was not
It
built
helps
for
me a
drones.
lot. And also like the stream.
It does have some modifications that have been made to it to work on the drone problem. But the problem is that with a swarm of drones, it's going to overwhelm most radars that are associated with the Iron Dome. And that's why not only do they have the Iron Dome, but the other elements of the Israeli air and missile defense systems like the Arrow system and David Sling, but also the Aegis systems that the U.S. Navy brings in. And those are sitting off the coast of Israel right now, and they are supposed to help with this. Let's see how effective they are this time. They were highly effective in June. Let's see how effective they are now.
Joining me now is CNN national security analyst Alex Plitzis. Alex, let's start right where Wolf left off. Explosions over Bahrain. The Iranians hit the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet Service Center. Explosions over UAE, both Dubai and Abu Dhabi, over Jordan, Kuwait, other states there in the region. Just put into context the scope of the response from the Iranians and what you glean from how they've responded and how quickly.
So it's clear that they were prepared for counterstrikes to a certain extent, given that they reacted fairly quickly in the middle of the night to the strikes, because in the 12-day war, they took a little bit of time to respond as they regained command and control and determined what assets that they had left.
It's a crayon eater take.
And they took 5 days to respond after Qasem Soleimani was assassinated.
He knows which each color crayon tastes
So
like.
this is clear that there had been some pre-planning that was done. And as you mentioned, The countries that were attacked here specifically are where we have specific bases. So in Kuwait, we have Ali Al Salim Air Force Base. In the UAE, we have Al Dhafra Air Base, about 20 miles south of Abu Dhabi. In Bahrain, we have the Fifth Fleet that's based out of there. In Doha, we happen to have nearby Al Udeid Air Force Base. Is not only the Air Force Base, but also the forward headquarters for U.S. Central Command. So all of those locations are strategic U.S. military bases in the region.
I'm joined now by Daniel Shapiro. He's the former U.S. ambassador to Israel. Ambassador Shapiro, thanks so much for joining us. I understand you are now in a shelter in Tel Aviv. Well, what caused you and your associates to go to this shelter? What happened?
Prayers for Pep Talks wife. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Wilf. So early this morning, for the first time, a siren sounded, and where I was staying, we all rushed to a shelter. That's now happened about 7 or 8 times today here in central Israel. The last one, which just occurred a few moments ago, was followed by a
so now we're focusing on the damage done to Israel, eh? Yeah.
series of boom. Sometimes you.
Jesus Christ. This is literally just, it's all over again.
Which is an interception of an incoming missile. And
oh man, be prepared for a giant wave of anti-Islam and anti-Muslim fucking rhetoric coming out.
Today we heard one or two of such booms, but in the last round we heard over 2 dozen. So it seems that the Iranians have changed their tactics as the day has gone on, from individual or small numbers of missile attacks to at least the last one being a larger salvo, which they've used in the past to try to saturate and penetrate Israeli air defenses.
I didn't say what causes it. I'm saying they're focusing on it.
Do you get a sense that the Iranians and their missile attacks, their drone attacks, are going after specific Israeli military targets, or just launching them to kill people and destroy as much as possible?
It's impossible for me to know from the places I've been able to be today exactly what they're targeting. In the past, they have put a lot of emphasis on military targets, intelligence targets, but some civilian targets. There are still buildings destroyed in central Tel Aviv from the war last June. So, and because Israel's a small country and a lot of civilian population lives alongside various other installations.
The reporter asked
these
that.
or missiles are not that
That's Wolf.
accurate. It's
Wolf
entirely
Blitzer tends to
possible
ask
that they
stupid
could shoot for
questions.
a security target and hit an apartment building or a neighborhood. So they're probably going to cause as much damage as they can, given the pressure they're under from combined U.S.
Now claims of civilian casualties with zero evidence. My word, you never cease
Israeli
expectations.
strikes that the president announced this morning.
Clearly a lot of targets for the Iranians in the Tel Aviv area, and good luck over there. Just stay safe. What do you think regime change?
I'm a conservative and I'm sick of this nonsense. So you're one of the principled ones that actually didn't want new wars. Good to know.
Potentially could look like. Do you see a clear path?
Didn't seem like there was a whole lot of you guys.
Take over, if there is regime change?
I think this is one of the big question marks hanging over what the president announced last night. First of all, I think many Americans probably woke up this morning surprised to discover that we're at war in the Middle East, something the president said he was going to try to avoid. And he really didn't do very much to prepare the public or discuss with the public what his strategy was, what the goal is, why it was imminent, and why it was necessary to take this action now. He mentioned what we know very well about this terrible Iranian regime. Its nuclear program, ballistic missile program, its abuse of its own people, and its sponsorship of terrorism. But why now? And it was surprising to me that he laid the predicate that the goal of this is regime change, because that is not something that can be done just by airstrikes. What he said, and he's probably right about this, is that only the Iranian people on the ground are going to be able to overthrow the regime and replace it with something else. But replace it with what? Most intelligence experts who you consult with suggest the most likely near-term replacement for the current regime is a military dictatorship under the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps. Beyond that, it's a big question mark whether there is a sufficiently consolidated opposition, whether it could be done peacefully or democratically.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
Different splinter groups, ethnic or regional splinter groups, might try to break away from the main state. So it could be a very chaotic situation.
I thought he was stopping wars. Yeah, me too.
Even if the president's goal of regime change is successful.
Ships can ply. The Strait of Hormuz through history has been important for trade, with ceramics, ivory, silk and Strait of Hormuz is a key waterway for global shipping. It's about 33 kilometers wide at its narrowest point and connects the Persian Gulf to the Gulf of Oman. From there, ships can then travel to the rest of the world. While Iran and Oman have their territorial waters in the strait, it's viewed as an international waterway that all ships can ply. The Strait of Hormuz through history has been important for trade, with ceramics, ivory, silk and textiles moving from China through the region. In the modern era, it is the route for supertankers carrying oil and gas from Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Iraq,
Obama didn't do this to Iran.
Qatar,
the fuck are you talking about?
Bahrain, the UAE, and Iran. The vast majority of this oil then...
Again, you fucking morons don't understand why the Bush administration and the Obama administration never wanted to attack Iran, because they understood that this would be like a forever war.
Goes to markets.
You guys are fucking morons. You really don't understand how bad this is.
In Asia.
But cool. Again, get to your army recruitment station. They're going to need you.
Including Iran's only remaining oil customer, China. While there are pipelines...
But keep crowing in chat about how based this is.
Saudi Arabia and the UAE that can avoid the passage. The US Energy Information Administration says most volumes that transit the strait have no alternative means of exiting the region. Threats to the route have spiked global energy prices in the past, including during the Israel-Iran war in June.
It's almost like having these conflicts is not a good thing.
The U.S. and Israel say they're targeting Iran's senior leadership, and they've already hit several districts, especially in the center of the capital, Tehran. Satellite imagery that came out show direct hits on the compound of Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei.
Oh, so Laura Loomer's already fucking just like, we got him.
That compound is right in the city center, close
I don't think he was at the compound, guys. I'm just going to go out on a limb here.
Tehran University, and it really is a decision-making center, a nerve center for the theocratic leadership of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So an extremely
that's like saying that about Mar-a-Lago.
important place.
God, oh my God, dude.
At the same time, the Iranians say that their entire senior leadership has survived the initial wave of strikes. For instance, they say that Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, was targeted. However, he survived and, as they put it, is in good health. They also say that the leaders, for instance, of the parliament, but also senior military leadership, have also survived and are now guiding Iran's response.
This is a war. This is a declaration of war. Like, do you guys not understand that? Like, I love how in American history people are like, the shot heard around the world, and they get it. But this shit is just like, there's what?
Iran's military operation.
Yeah. It's just an operation, and then there's going to be retaliations, and then there's another operation, and another, and Operation Iranian Freedom.
On the whole, the Iranians...
Again, dude. We've been through this.
Are saying that they're much better.
We already liberated Iraq.
Prepared this time than they were last time they went head to head with the United States
and
Israel.
Get prepared to sacrifice a lot of Americans to this.
The Iranians are saying that they are.
And also, like I said, make sure that your kids are at that army recruiting station if you're MAGA, because they're, as I said, going to need you. And if you're of the age of, being enlisted,
a massive campaign of missiles and drones.
Pep, how long am I planning? Oh, I don't know. A few hours.
Assets in
I'll
the
be here for a little bit.
Of course, also Israel as well.
If you got to run for a bit. And I understand.
In the explosions that we did see on film that have happened after we were live last night, we will not be showing those clips here on air, as they do involve the deaths of civilians on the ground inside the United Arab Emirates. We have
okay, wait, we have breaking news. We have breaking news right this second. So we've been mentioning the strikes that the U.S. and Israel has been conducting on the ports of Iran, and of course at the ports are the naval forces of Iran, for whatever that's worth. They're apparently still there. So we are getting new imagery showing the U.S. struck and destroyed an Iranian Bayandor-class corvette in the port of Konarek this morning. Apparently, it has been hit, and it's a very bad hit. That vessel is out of action, I can assure you that. The vessel is completely engulfed in smoke. There are two other vessels to the rear of this one. Also, by the way, Enforcer, if you can get this pulled up so that way you want to describe it, people can see what I'm talking about here. The vessel is on fire. It's completely engulfed in smoke, and it looks like a complete disaster site here. So this is a very interesting scene here. It looks like one of the first confirmed casualties we've seen of the Iranian Navy that we're seeing right here in this photo. But Enforcer, what say you?
This is actually a second satellite.
Kind of surprising that their Navy is, I don't know, at port.
Picture from a different angle, actually, of the same Corvette that we saw hit just prior a few moments ago. We actually can confirm that. I tried to make sure that I could find the exact location. It appears that some people are calling this the Chabahar Naval Base. And so
let's see what Fox has to say.
Well, for more, the strike came a day after the State Department announced Secretary of State Marco Rubio had plans to travel to Israel. Now, Julian,
even though we know that this is going to be full of lies.
Turner is at the State Department.
Fake news.
With the latest, Julian.
Kaylee, don't know yet. State has not confirmed whether that trip is on or off. We can only anticipate it is not happening. They do tell us, though, that right now Secretary of State Rubio is with the president at Mar-a-Lago, monitoring everything that is going on all through the night. This morning, there are tens of thousands of Americans in harm's way in the region, potentially hundreds of thousands. So the Secretary is launching a task force to try and help as many of them as possible. One possible element of this could be evacuation flights. No word yet from the State Department on whether they are going to actually schedule any of those, but we know looking backwards, this administration did provide that for Americans during the 12-day war. Also,
well, Fox is playing the jets leaving the aircraft carriers and all the war porn. Oh, God. We're in it, guys. For anybody that thinks that this is just going to be a one-day thing.
Congressional leadership ahead of these strikes. He briefed 7 of the 8 congressional leaders that form the infamous Gang of 8. Apparently, he was hitting the phones.
Your media seems to think that Khomeini died.
He was able to reach 7 of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, Israeli media is not exactly something that we can trust anymore.
We don't know who the 8
or ever, for that matter,
was, though I suspect we will find out imminently from Capitol Hill. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister telling his allies in the region, or who he thought were his allies, that
I'm trying to literally get the news from all sides right now.
He is going to be,
this is what I do. I'm more like a aggregate of all this shit.
Be counting on them to counter the United States and Israel's attacks. Here is what he just said. We have new sound from Aragachi in an interview.
Well, there is no communication right now.
Actually, here. I'm going to play that interview.
So heads of state in the region, though, are not going along with that program. They are denouncing Iran's retaliatory strikes in the region. Saudi Arabia put out a statement where they said they denounced them along with the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Jordan, European.
I don't gotta fight.
Allies are weighing.
No. You need to go fight. You need to go to the Army recruitment station, and since you back this so fucking full-throatedly, you need to go suck the Army's dick and get to boot camp there, folks.
And now, as well, the UK.
If you support MAGA and you are a diehard MAGA, well, now's your time. Now's your time to go put your to get the fatigues on and just. Let's go. Let's go.
France and Germany.
Why are you not there already? Why are you not in the military? If you guys, oh my God, it's almost like you don't actually fucking support this if you need to be involved.
Denouncing Iran in a statement. Keir Starmer also just said this, Prime Minister of Britain, a moment ago.
The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes, but we have long been clear. The regime in Iran is utterly abhorrent. They have murdered thousands of their own people, brutally crushed dissent, and sought to destabilize the region. Even in the United Kingdom, the Iranian regime poses a direct
because I'm not stupid.
Threat to
I didn't join the military to fucking be some shill for a bunch of corporations, but here we are.
And to the Jewish community.
Hey, look, another one of those support your troop motherfuckers.
We are likely to hear from more foreign heads of state as the day goes on. Kaylee, we already know that the UN is holding a special session later.
How's it feel to know that you fought for nothing?
UN Secretary General.
Like every operation that you conducted in Iraq didn't matter. Or Afghanistan, it didn't matter.
To address the entire Security Council. Kaylee?
Julian Turner, thank
you. Yeah, we were protecting you. We did it for you.
I'm Wade Johnson at ABC headquarters in New York, and we are interrupting regular programming with the latest developments on the situation in the Middle East. Here's what we know so far at this hour. President Trump overnight announcing major combat operations against Iran called Operation Epic Fury. The operation, a joint U.S. and Israeli attack said to be targeting Iranian government and military sites. Iran is reporting civilian casualties, including dozens at an elementary school. U.S. military officials say they are looking into those reports.
Fake news.
American officials say the operation could last for days. The IDF now saying U.S. and Israeli forces launched hundreds of strikes, and they say several senior leaders were eliminated. President Trump warning that there could be U.S. casualties as well. A U.S. official tells ABC News that American forces have intercepted multiple Iranian missiles targeting bases and allies in the region. That includes Jordan, Bahrain, Kuwait, UAE, and Qatar. We're monitoring all of this. You can see some of the early videos coming in, smoke rising we've seen in Tehran, the capital of Iran. And overnight, President Trump speaking about the operation. Here's what he had to say.
All right, our breaking news continues on MS Now. Earlier this morning, Eastern Time, the United States and Israel launched a major military attack on Iran, striking dozens of targets across the country, including in the capital of Tehran. You can see the strikes on that screen. They have been reported near the president's residence, and extensive damage has also been reported at the Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's
Just me, you have to be dumb to join the military. It's a prerequisite. Yeah.
compound. Khamenei has
No, because if you have any bit of intelligence, then you would realize that that whole structure is just, it's predicated on you being the fodder.
not been seen this morning.
And also that you could only be found through the U.S. It's a cult.
However, he's not been seen publicly.
They literally use cult tactics in order to break you down and then rebuild you in their image.
For weeks. His current whereabouts are unknown.
And then it becomes their entire personality for the rest of their entire lives.
In an interview this morning with NBC News, the foreign minister of Iran said, as far as he understands, all senior leadership in Iran is alive. Iran has begun what it is called a, quote,
any MAGA cultists with military background or posers, you didn't learn or understand anything. Yep.
Crushing response against the U.S. and Israel.
Not just dumb, poor, and desperate. Yep.
Iranian state media reports that retaliatory missile strikes have targeted multiple U.S. bases, military bases in the region. Iran has launched multiple major waves of missile and drone attacks at Israel, which the Israelis say have been shot down. Iranian rockets have also been launched toward U.S. allies in the Persian Gulf. In Saudi Arabia.
I'm old enough to where I wouldn't, unless they change that law, which then a bunch of MAGA is going to.
Jordan, one has landed in Syria. We're not quite sure whether it was targeted. You're looking at.
You guys got to still be crowing. I voted for this if you do get drafted. I'm dead serious. Anybody have the balls to actually answer that honestly? So if you guys get drafted and you are on your way to Iran, will you still have that attitude of, I voted for this, I love Trump?
Pictures of Dubai right now. This is the Fairmont Hotel in Dubai. Again, something has hit that hotel. We're unclear. You can see the fire burning there. We're unclear whether that was an actual missile strike or that was debris from a missile interception. Dubai.
Jack Frost, hell yeah.
Authorities have only said that there was a fire in the Palm Jumeirah area. Local authorities say they've secured the area and the fire.
Bunch of babies.
Now under
can't answer honestly. It's because you guys know.
This is video from earlier. But reports indicate that a second
you don't support shit
wave of retaliatory attacks from Iran could be underway across the Gulf.
Not blindly, because I'm not a moron. I'm not a nationalist like you.
Companies are suspending shipments through the Volta.
Oh, wait. Israel. You support your country, Israel. Cool, RC.
Strait of Hormuz.
That's all I can assume that that's the country you're talking about. Sorry, Ryan. I know that
on Iran's southern coast, where 1/5 of the world's oil passes.
Yeah, fucking RC here.
And we now have
Israel first.
Confirmation.
Wearing his MAGA hat.
The Strait of Hormuz is closed. There is no shipping.
Most of these MAGA types don't even qualify for the military.
No oil shipping or any shipping at all
fat
going
assholes
from the
with
Persian
red
Gulf into the Gulf of Oman. Now,
this is my president. I voted for this. I gotta go get my DoorDash. I ordered me a couple of buckets of KFC and some Big Macs so I could eat like Trump and grow up to be a big strong boy like him.
These attacks follow joint U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran last summer. Joining me now are my colleagues Vaughn Hilliard and Ayman Mohyeddin. Vaughn is our senior White House reporter. Ayman is the co-host of the Weekend Prime here on MSN.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here rooting for the little coronary that could.
NBC.
Chugga.
What we know from the administration. We got words from the president on a video that he posted. He did use the word war. He did
subscribe.
Say that this is about
Thank you.
regime change. He did send a message to the Iranian people. Take control of your government. This is the best chance you're ever going to get. Absent were
Oh, I enjoy a Big Mac too occasionally. You know, trust me, I could be a little bit of a trash American myself.
Because Iran doesn't have sort of the ability to have an active opposition in the streets.
And the timeline that the president
we got good food and vibes
given
honestly
is not been made
you do
clear across the administration. What is the objective? What is the end game here?
Tony, what up, Tony?
Of the United
See a snowflake.
States.
We won the snowflake battle. The battle of the snowflakes is over, and we have won. It is ours.
In that video, saying there will be American casualties. It is a stunning statement directly from the President of the United States at a time in which he has done very little. Let's be clear, very little to justify the use of this military action in the lives of the young men and women that are going to be on the ground to...
Streamer couldn't join them. They don't serve common MREs. How do you... Were you disappointed when you bit into one expecting there to be?
With it here.
It sounds like you're just letting me know.
Had that opportunity to do it at the State of the Union address on Tuesday night.
Guys, there's no common MREs. This guy knows.
He spoke very little of Iran. He has said that the Iranian nuclear program was obliterated, yet... despite conflicting messaging from Steve Witkoff suggesting that they are a week away from...
MAGA aren't smart.
Military grade
just not to that one.
Uranium. This is a moment here where the President of the United States and his administration have largely been silent. We haven't heard from Pete Hegseth. We haven't heard from Marco Rubio. We did hear from Caroline Leavitt here this last hour say that the president did in fact talk to Bibi Netanyahu, that the two men had a conversation. Marco Rubio as well. Also,
Mustafa, thank you for the sub.
Placed phone calls, we know, at least to the congressional gang of 8 members. It is not clear whether all 8 of them received phone calls here, but in terms of moving forward with this and what the end game objective is and how long it's going to go on, the White House here in the middle of this Saturday has been very quiet.
Joining us on the phone right now is Alex Bouquet, who's currently in Dubai. We were just showing you pictures of Dubai, which has seen a number of intersections, and our reporter there has said that they've seen interceptions in the air. You're looking at the Marriott Hotel in Dubai. Alex, what are you seeing? What's going on? What are you up to?
Hi. Yeah, we're just leaving the Dukes Hotel with a couple of friends on the Palm.
My cat is sitting there toying with the idea of taking Stan's bed.
We had a meeting, and
let's see if he does it.
We were waiting for the car from the valet, and as the car pulled up, we just heard this really loud noise, which felt really close to us. And sure enough, it was the Fairmont Palm.
How many MAGA billies are volunteering to go?
2
None.
blocks down the street from us, probably 150 yards away. That basically
again, they're in my chat.
She got hit with a missile from the air.
If there's a guy that like can literally like put their money where their mouth is with this one, where they just send me a pic of like them chatting, like in the recruitment office.
Unexpected because the Palm is basically.
I would have to admit at that point that it's like, wow, you really do believe your own shit. Okay.
Right in the middle of where the tourists go in Dubai, so we got pretty bit freaked out. Got on the car.
Don't expect that to happen though.
Basically in front of the Fairmont to leave the Palm, and sure enough, the whole hotel was on fire. Really scary stuff, and we just left the area immediately.
Oh, I understand politics on the world stage a whole lot better than a lot of the fucking people in MAGA, apparently, because I also take people at their word. I know, fuck me, right? So when I listened to Trump on his campaign stop saying, no new wars, we have to stop spending billions of dollars on all these foreign wars. We have to be America first. I don't want to spend any more money on Ukraine. I don't want to do this. No more forever wars, these stupid wars. Here we are.
And by the way, I misspoke a moment ago when I called it the Marriott Hotel. It is the Fairmont Hotel.
I guess I must have just made all that up, right?
In the Palm.
Again, nobody answered me what they actually voted for when they were saying that they voted for this. It's like, did you vote for the war part or the peace part? Which one?
Area of Dubai. And if people are familiar with that, whether you've been to Dubai or not, you'll know if you look at a sort of an aerial view of Dubai, there's this area that's sort of built up islands in the water that is called the Palm. It's the shape of a palm. Alex, you know the flights out of Dubai.
Hey, you disingenuous cocksucker. Just so you know, anytime that somebody says that they don't support a new regime change war, doesn't mean that they support that current regime.
Most flights are canceled.
I'm truly America first. I didn't want anything to do with this, and I don't want to spend billions of dollars on this. Weird. And you know what's really funny? A lot of disenfranchised MAGA are starting to kind of realize that the America First movement isn't going to catch on. So they're going to start fucking kind of doing the thing where they have to eat crow a little bit and just be like, you know what, yeah, lefties, I can vote for some of you, like James Tallarico. That's why I was saying James Tallarico is the first step into getting disaffected MAGA into the left.
Space is, in fact, I think all flights are canceled because the airspace is closed. Abu Dhabi is closed. Bahrain is closed. Qatar is closed. I don't want you to divulge anything, but where will you be seeking shelter?
Yeah, we live in the marina, so once we go home, we saw a bunch of missiles all throughout the sky, basically flying.
He said release the files, no new more, but he meant no new files, release the wars.
Some not. We didn't feel safe.
You know what? He does have dementia, so I could see how that could totally track.
Staying in a high-rise.
I forgot what I said. You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I'm not lying if I don't remember.
Tower where we live, so we basically filled up the car, got a bunch of cash, some waters, and some clothes, some warm clothes.
Oh, so you voted for wars. Cool. So when he was saying that he didn't want any more new wars and he was the peace president and he wanted that Nobel Peace Prize, so you voted against that. Okay.
And we just drove off into the desert.
Good to know.
So we're going to
MAGA keep kissing that wall.
On the east side of the country, away from the crowds, undisclosed location where we got an Airbnb.
Yep.
And we've got our passports with us just in case something happens and we have to leave the country through Oman or another area of the country. But we basically got really, really quickly, and within 10 minutes, we're in the car on the road towards the desert.
Yeah, and that's worth noting, by the way. Oman is seen as a friendly country to Iran. They were the ones actually negotiating this nuclear deal, this deal that the Trump administration was negotiating. It's nighttime in Dubai right now, but it's a Saturday night, which means Dubai is more alive than Las Vegas or Los Angeles this hour. What did you see as you were leaving Dubai? Are people out and about as normal, or does it feel different tonight?
A lot of people are out and about as normal. I'm not seeing a lot of people panic. As a matter of fact, people seem to be pretty composed. But I think if the situation
If you ban evade again, I'm actually going to report you.
continues to escalate, I think people will start to move pretty quickly. We stopped by a mall on the way out in the desert. I'm waiting outside a shop right now, getting some sandwiches for my friends and I in the car, and every single shop is shutting down right now. So,
oh no, another 15-minute military operation.
It's not supposed to shut down.
The last 15-minute military operation that I remember just ended when Biden pulled out of Afghanistan. Oh, wait a minute. That's right. We still got people in Iraq. Oops.
9 p.m. on a Saturday, to your point. So I think the reality is starting to hit locals that there might be more bombs and people should go home and seek shelter. So that's what I'm seeing. But again, I'm not witnessing any sort of crazy crowd movements or panic. I mean, I'm looking at people.
I pay my property taxes, and that's kind of why I'm definitely one of those Americans. I get taxed out the ass, and I don't want those taxes going to pay for no new wars. It's almost like I don't know. I actually care about America. Like I said, America first. All right.
Clothes just bought.
Since you guys apparently are so into the liberation of Iran, why aren't you there? Wait a minute. You guys are talking about us going there. Why aren't you going? Wait a minute. Not even in a military capacity. Huh.
Shopping.
Odd.
Normal. So far, things feel normal, besides obviously a bunch of missiles in the sky.
What a sentence. Mostly normal except for a bunch of missiles. The authorities in
no new wars under Trump, right, MAGA?
Dubai are
notice how they're trying to fucking dodge that one here.
Absolutely not saying it's a missile. They're saying that there was a fire at a hotel in the Palm. We're looking at that fire right now. It's a hell of a fire. I believe they say that it's under control now. But did you see? You saw what looked like missiles? You saw incoming things in the sky, and did you see any interceptions?
I did not see the missile, but I heard it. And there is a video that was shared with me on WhatsApp from across the street. With a missile, and basically the sound that this missile made when it landed was exactly what we heard. So unless the video was somehow AI or man-made, I think that was definitely a missile.
Yeah, they don't know that. they genuinely do not understand how much of our state funds go to them. So, like, Illinois, if we take our state funding from Indiana, they're so fucked. Pep Talk could probably use a break from politics and watch something with comedy. No. It's almost like this is my job, so I do kind of have to cover, the start of a new war.
Saudi Arabia is
Sorry if you don't like the vibes.
condemning the
But Chare, I appreciate it.
Iranian strikes on the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Jordan as a breach of sovereignty. Abdulaziz Al-Ghashian is a senior non-resident fellow at the Gulf International Forum, and he joins us now live from the Saudi capital of Riyadh. Thank you very much for being here with us for this breaking news. Can we start with, please, how is this being received in Saudi Arabia, and what are people there saying today?
Well, thank you very much for having me. I mean, needless to say, things aren't really hunky-dory. It is exactly what the Saudi diplomacy and GCC diplomacy has been trying to avoid for years. Nightmare scenario after nightmare scenario has been manifesting before our very eyes. And this is why, unfortunately,
RC is a real orange monster believer. Yep.
The diplomacy
RC is going to be very lonely.
Diplomacy has been invested in so much to avoid this. And unfortunately, we have reached this limit. Right now, I think the strikes on Iran, which led to the strikes on...
I literally just banned him for having really fucking just no IQ takes.
These Gulf...
Not even low IQ, just no IQ.
...capitals and these Gulf states, just simply making sure that, or reminding us that of how insecure we are really in the region. And therefore, I think that the condemnation that Saudi Arabia has issued speaks to the fact that I think it has done everything
They don't talk about how he took us out of the nuclear deal in the first place. Yep.
Can, just like what the Qatari statement suggested, that it does everything it can to try to avoid being targeted. It did not facilitate any American, needless to say Israeli, strikes on Iran, yet Iran still decided to strike some of these states and trespass the sovereignty. So we're right now in an era, really, of a nightmare scenario that's just taking place time and again. And I think what we're going to see now...
What up, free thinker?
...is a new era of just insecurity.
Oh, God.
The reason why, Riley, the reason why we have invested a great deal of this diplomacy is because we in the GCC and Saudi Arabia are on the front line of two other people's wars. And now three people's wars. It's the United States, Israel, and Iran. We are on the front line here. And then as a result, the landscape is something that we're going to suffer from. So this is why there's going to be a lot of frustration and a lot of diplomacy going to be at play. And we're just going to have to wait and see. There's just many variables that are not in our hands or not in the hands of the GCC.
Both parties are owned by the Israeli lobby. Yeah.
So I anticipate...
Yeah, that's why we're here. This is Israel's war. This is the Epstein distraction war.
The ruling elite, as well as the Gulf states and their ruling elites, are not going to throw more fuel into the fire. I think they are the most level-headed out of all these actors.
Take the hat off, man. The hair got to flow.
So we are just going to wait and see. I think American officials have suggested that this may be a few days long.
I'm very sorry to interrupt you. We have another guest that we have to get to in short order. Hamid Ganbari is the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iran, and he joins us now live from Dubai. Thank you for being with us on Al Jazeera. Iran has strongly condemned the recent U.S.-Israeli airstrikes. What is Iran's official assessment of these attacks?
Hello, and thank you for having me. Iran strongly condemns these airstrikes. From our perspective, they constitute a clear violation of the UN Charter, especially the principles of sovereignty, territorial integrity, and prohibition of use of force. Military attacks on Iranian...
Again, it's almost like these agreements aren't worth the paper that they're printed on anymore, and that's because MAGA or specifically Trump just decided, no, don't need to do that.
Territory undermines...
We're not even part of the UN anymore.
...international law and threaten regional peace and stability. Iran has always emphasized that disputes should be resolved through diplomacy, not through force.
So these strikes occurred while diplomatic contacts between Iran and the United States were ongoing. How does Iran interpret this timing?
You know, the timing is deeply troubling. Iran entered diplomatic contacts in good faith because we believe that dialogue and diplomacy are the most responsible.
If people in Iran want regime change, then that should be on them.
Ways to
Yeah.
Reduce tensions and avoid conflict.
Nah, but America's very comfortable with the new idea of the New World Order being if somebody doesn't like our leader, they can just come in and, just replace them.
When military attacks takes place through.
Or would that just be a bridge too far for America? Because, we're not one of those countries.
Within diplomatic engagement, it damages trust and raises serious doubts about the commitment to peaceful solutions.
So Iran has now responded to the missile strikes with missile strikes.
I said we're not the head of the UN anymore.
Strikes rather on Israeli targets and U.S. military facilities in the region.
Yeah, we lost our position there, bud.
What is the legal?
We're no longer the commander of the UN.
Basis you
again, we gave that up.
Have for this response.
Iran's response is based on the inherent rights of self-defense.
Neza, today I saw seen missiles with my eyes.
Under Article 51 of
You're 2 miles from the
the
battlefield.
UN Charter. When a state faces an armed attack, it has the right to
safe.
defend itself and its people and territory. At the same time, we deeply regret that human suffering caused by the human sufferings caused by this escalation. One of the most painful tragedies occurred in the city of Mina, where an elementary girls' school was stuck during the attacks. According to the latest reports, around 40 people have.
Again, now that our tax money is going to paying for this new war and all that, I don't really care about what people think, complain about our tax money's going to, especially if they fucking wear a red hat.
Been killed. Many of
because they don't care.
Them young school children and school staff. This is not only a military issue. This is a humanitarian tragedy. Children, schools, and civilians must never become victims of war. The loss of those young lives is hard.
You may not believe it, but more than half of the Republicans do not support this war. Some polls show 85% overall, indicating that Trump has lost support from half his core base.
And reminds the world that
sorry to hear about your wife. Thank
human
you. Ryan, I appreciate
cost
that.
of conflict is always the heaviest for the most innocent.
Some of these strikes targeted U.S. bases in Gulf countries. How does Iran address concerns from the regional states about this?
Iran respects the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all regional countries, especially our neighbors in Persian Gulf. Our actions were not directed at those states or their people. They targeted specific foreign military facilities that were used in operations against Iran. Iran remains committed to regional dialogue, mutual respect, and cooperation with neighboring countries.
At this point,
nobody said that Kamala was going to win by a landslide. Actually, those polls said that it was 50-50 right up until the election.
Is Iran expecting?
It was the fact that the Democratic Party had internal polling that they weren't listening to. But again, so much because you guys actually watch this is my favorite part about MAGA. I know how wrong they are because they can't bring themselves to watch the fake news. So they don't know shit.
The United Nations or the international community.
They don't have any actual information outside of whatever the fuck they read on Twitter, and that's what just permeated in their brain. And it's just Twitter said 86%, I say 86%.
Community will play any role at this stage of the
landslide
crisis.
They also don't know what a landslide is.
Definitely, Iran expects the United Nations and the international community to uphold international law and to protect civilians. The tragedy in Mina, where children lost their lives in school, shows why the world must take humanitarian law seriously. Schools, students, and civilians must be protected at all times. The United Nations Security Council has a responsibility to address this situation, to prevent further escalation, and to ensure accountability for attacks that harm civilians.
Do you see, looking forward, any possibility for de-escalation or a route to de-escalation in the near future?
Actually, Iran does not seek escalation. Our priority remains peace, stability, and diplomacy. But de-escalation requires the attacks to stop and that Iran's sovereignty and rights are respected. The world must remember that behind political tensions, there are human lives, including children, whose futures should never be destroyed by war. If aggression stops and respect for international law returns, there would be hope for,
They're talking about this conflict specifically, so yeah.
Coming back.
We're talking about the bombing campaign, so yeah.
To de-escalation and to respecting the territorial integrity of countries and coming back to the international relation based on the rule of law.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for joining us here on Al Jazeera. Hamid Ganbari
the background's mine.
is the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of Iran.
Don't miss out. Get the full picture. Subscribe.
I'm going to interrupt you very briefly while you've been introducing.
All right, so here's the interview with the...
And they're telling us that right now we have a guest from Iran. Iran's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abbas Araghchi, is joining us now from Tehran.
The fact that he's smiling is a little disconcerting.
Minister Araghchi, we appreciate your making time to speak to us right now. We have a series of questions. We know that you are one of the few in that country who have the access to communicate outside of a country where there is a large blackout of communications at this time. First and foremost, our question to you, sir, is can you give us a better understanding of the situation on the ground there, the impacts that have taken place?
Yeah, Carlton, do you know why?
And separately,
do you understand that the war regime that was the Bush administration would not do this? Do you ever ask why? Instead of just thinking, oh yeah, it was because they weren't strong enough. No, it's because this means that Americans become cannon fodder. Yeah. And I don't see you I'm going to keep repeating this. I don't see you at the fucking Army recruitment office.
To us that the
unless you got pictures of you being there right now because you support this so fucking full-throatedly.
Ayatollah and the president are both still alive.
Well,
no.
Thank you for having me. Well, the situation on the ground...
Yeah, it's almost like that would have been a good time to, you know, while there was so much destabilization to go and get the Ayatollah, but it's almost like they knew that that would lead to, you know how they weren't planning for that war to be 20 plus years, even though I think they were. This one, that's why they did this one, is because this is the forever war. If we actually put boots on the ground, it's going to be a long time. And like I said, be prepared, especially if you're under the age of 25, they're coming for you. It starts with recruiters, and then they're going to go to the high schools, and then they're going to, once they don't get enough recruits, like I've been saying, that's when they're going to do this. Well, we have this this thing. It's voluntary enlistment.
I'd say normal, but
and then involuntary enlistment.
Life is going on. Everything is under control. I think Americans and Israelis have failed to, access.
2 weeks from now, it'll all be over. That comes from a mouth that was still a baby in 2001.
Who, hits their targets. And now everything is under control. And we, almost in less than 2 hours, we were able to start retaliation by sending, by attacking.
That's what happened to me in 2002. I'm telling you. They said 2 weeks. They said Operation Iraqi Freedom was going to be only 2 weeks long. And that by the end of the month, we would be out of there. Operation, are you guys remember that? The whole, mission accomplished debacle?
Some targets in Israel by our
That
missiles.
sucks being old.
Almost all officials are safe and sound and alive.
Oh, dude, you live in MAGA America. No. Trans people actually won't get to serve in the military, so they'll be safe. They don't want lefties. They don't want anybody that's dissenter, so they're going to come for you.
Have lost one.
You fucking morons. Dude, I'm not even kidding. MAGA expects you to fight for them. I hope that they have the right bets there.
But that is,
we'll see. We'll see.
Not a big problem. We are actually managing it. We are handling the situation. And I was in contact with, my colleagues in the Persian Gulf. And I explained for them that, we have no intention to attack them, but we are actually attacking the American bases in the act of self-defense. We cannot just sit and watch. They are.
Again, if we cared so much about the civilians of Iran, how come we don't let them in? Oh, yeah.
Attacking us and we don't, respond simply because their bases are in a friendly neighbor country. So I explained for them, and I hope that they understand this situation. Another point I have to mention is, I don't know why the U.S. administration insists to start a negotiation and then in the middle of negotiation attack, the other party. Today happened exactly what
MAGA, put your military pants on and show it.
Last June happened.
And show your Trump support.
In the middle of negotiations, and and it was interesting that this time we made a big progress.
All right, Mike, your Army recruitment office is open today. Middle of the day. Get going.
2 days ago, on Thursday, we had a very good meeting in Geneva, together with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. And we were able to address serious questions related to Iran's nuclear program. We obviously have differences, but we resolved some of those differences, and we decided to continue in order to resolve the rest of questions. And we actually instructed the technical team to go to Vienna and have a meeting with the IAEA. In order to find technical solution for the problems we are facing in the negotiation. And everybody was happy at the end of those negotiations. As you saw, His Excellency Badr al-Busaidi.
Netanyahu says there are signs Supreme Leader Khamenei is dead. Calls on Iranians to finish the job. What the fuck?
Prime Minister of Oman, who is mediating between us, he concluded by posting a tweet saying that today we made significant progress. And before he posts his tweet, he consulted with both delegations and both were happy. So I don't know why, while we were progressing in our talks and we had made good, achievement and a deal was at our reach, why they decided to attack us. Perhaps, it was others who dragged the United States for their own benefits into this, conflict. It's really pity. It's very unfortunate. And yes.
Mr. Arachi, I appreciate your comments there, and we do have a series of other questions I want to ask you. But just for clarity for our audience right now, can you confirm with specificity that the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is alive, and separately that the Iranian president is alive right now following these American and Israeli strikes?
As far as I know, yes, they are alive. And the head of judiciary as well, the head of the Speaker of Parliament as well, all high-ranking officials are alive. And the secretary of the...
Like I said, it's almost like they weren't going to just be at the compound.
National Security Council. So everybody is...
But yeah, we can totally trust Trump and Netanyahu as far as the sourcing saying that he's dead.
Now in its position, and we are handling this situation, and everything is fine.
Sir, do you believe that you were targeted as part of these strikes?
You mean me?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. They have targeted everybody. Just now
when did Congress approve? They didn't.
I saw the footages of their attack to a girl.
What sophisticated weapons? Again.
In which,
we destroyed them with Operation Whatever, where we took out their nukes, and we made it so they can never proliferate their nuclear power. But you know what? We also have to make sure they can never get a nuclear weapon. I have to keep it simple. They can never have a nuclear weapon.
City of Minab in the southern part of Iran. So
all you have to do is just listen to the guy and just be like, oh, I think he's full of shit. And I think that everybody involved is lying.
57 girls were killed by their strike. So when they struck a school, so it is, they can also, hit others easily. This attack was unprovoked, illegal, and absolutely illegitimate, and against the international law, and should be condemned. That is obvious.
You said that Iran is prepared to take self-defense towards these actions. What would that entail?
Well, we are facing an act of aggression, and obviously we have every right to defend ourselves. So what we are doing is act of self-defense, which is absolutely legal and legitimate. So, and we think that we are fully prepared for that, even more prepared than previous time, the 12-day war. And I believe we manage this. We know very well how to defend ourselves. We learned lots of lessons from the previous war, and we will certainly teach the aggressors a lesson they deserve.
Mr. Arachi, if I may ask you very quickly right now, we know that Iran, via the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guard, via its proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthi rebels, in Yemen, has carried out attacks on Americans, on others throughout that region. Iran insists that its
apparently there was a new wave of strikes.
Nuclear program has never been with the desire to create nuclear weapons. But my question to you is, sir, why should the United States and why should the rest of the world trust Iran when it says its efforts to create a nuclear program are only for civilian use and not to continue to carry out harm against Western and
She doesn't even buy this.
American?
God damn. I think that like some of these people that like work for NBC and some of these news corps realistically know what they're doing and how we look at all the fucking newscasters from like the Bush era.
Interests.
I wonder if Tucker's having some nostalgia.
First of all, we don't have proxies. There are certain groups who are fighting for a just cause, and we support them.
So
And for
that
the
would
time
make them a
being-
proxy, correct, sir?
But they are not receiving orders from us. They are independent groups, but we support them, and we support them in their fight for the right of self-determination or to free their land from occupation, whatever. But for the time being, we don't need anybody for our defense. We are capable enough to defend ourselves, and we will do that, and we don't need the help of anybody. On our nuclear program, I think there are every reason that Iran does not want nuclear weapon. And the whole world has tested us when in 2015, we signed a deal and we announced very clearly that Iran would never seek, develop or acquire nuclear weapons. And that was a permanent commitment in 2015 deal. I know that President Trump doesn't like that deal, but at least we proved our goodwill, and we proved that we are not seeking nuclear weapons. And it was not Iran.
So you're saying that the deal expired from 2015 to 18? Wow, you're stupid. No, dude, fucking he decided to be like, I'm pulling out of the deal. It was a bad deal. I didn't like how it was negotiated. I'm going to make a much better deal. And then he left office without making a better deal. Dude, take his little fucking cock out of your mouth for just a second. Maybe you'll have some clarity.
From that deal, it was the US.
Fucking Todd. But like it's insane, dude.
Still in 2025, when the US offered us negotiation to find a solution.
God, it's got to be exhausting standing up for this guy.
Iran's nuclear program. Again, we accepted. We entered into negotiation in good faith. At least 3 times, we came to a good conclusion, but my interlocutor in the other side couldn't sell it in Washington. Then they suddenly
wasn't an EO. Numbnuts.
They attacked us.
Oh my God.
Again, this time,
What the fuck? These people are fucking certifiably retarded. That's what we're dealing with right now. And these people think they know a lot about politics, but they don't watch any news. They just get the vibes and whatever their dear leader tells them. And then they go out there going, oh, these TDS libs, they don't know nothing. They listen to all the lying news.
Into negotiation.
And then the lying media and the lying lefties in Hollywood. And there's a leftist bias in reality that, you know what, when I go outside, people seem to be more left than I am. They're a bias.
Help of our Omani friends and others, everybody supported those.
Getting a mean headache, so I call it for the night. Catch you later, Pep. Yeah, I'll catch you later, Ryan. Stay safe.
And we made significant progress.
Trolls received their scripts already.
This time, and then they attacked us. So we have, it is us who have negative, bitter experiences.
I quit expecting critical thinking skills from the dumbest demographic when they can't decipher when he said he loves the uneducated. It wasn't a compliment.
From talking to the United States, we have never wanted nuclear weapon. There is
half those motherfuckers will just say he didn't say that, and then you play it, and then they're just like AI.
Religious, convictions by us, the verdict by the Supreme Leader, who considered all these weapons as inhumane and against the Islamic teachings. At the same time, they have no place in our security doctrine, and I can explain. But I would like to reaffirm once again that we have proved our goodwill. We negotiated with E3 and then E3 plus 3 or P5 plus 1, and we concluded a deal. The whole world celebrated, and we remain committed to that deal in 2015. But it was the US who withdrew, not us. And again, the experiences of last year and this year. So I think the one who should prove its good faith, its goodwill, is the United States, not Iran.
Sir, as many Americans are waking up this morning and seeing images of Israel and other nations try to defend itself, what is your message to the American people about how far Iran will go?
Well, we have no limit.
These are live right now. Sorry. Just wanted to go and check these. All right. We'll come back to this.
To defend ourselves.
Does that include attacking Americans?
Well, we are attacking the American military built-up in our region. We are not attacking Americans in their land. Americans are attacking our people in our cities. But this is not what we are going to do. We are attacking the Americans' bases, military bases in the region, and military installations and facilities. And this is only
send Barron to Iran. Yeah, right.
As an act of self-defense. We are not the one who started this aggression. It was the United States and Israel who started this aggression. So there is no limit for us to defend ourselves. But once the aggression is stopped, we would also stop our self-defense. This is quite obvious and quite natural.
Mr. Arachi, in recent weeks, we saw a crackdown by the Iranian regime on civilian protesters throughout that country. Depending on where you receive your information, hundreds or even thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of Iranian people were killed. This
is how we manufacture consent.
Moments for the Iranian
in real time, folks.
People, will you commit that Iran will not crack down, will not attack, maim, or kill the people of Iran if they choose to protest peacefully against their government?
Well, I have to correct your disinformation. We didn't crack down the protesters. We cracked down.
Kyle, it's always funny when MAGA has broken English. It's like, yeah, okay, you're totally American.
Terrorist operation.
You dislike maggots? I kind of got it. I appreciate you, though. Like and sub if you are enjoying the show.
28 December to 7 January, we had peaceful protests in our streets, and that was absolutely tolerated. Even the government decided to engage with the leaders of those protests to find a solution for the problems they have faced. And everything was peaceful and nobody was killed. But on 8 January to 10, it was totally a different story. Armed elements added to those protests. They came from outside.
MAGA is like the snow melting, dirty and dumb.
They received instructions from outside, specifically from
that's a new one for ice melting.
And they started shooting at our police and security forces. So it was completely
Ryan, just going to listen today. I can't type today.
Terrorist operation.
One of those days.
And you had no way but to crack it down.
So for clarity, you're saying that those who were killed were exclusively foreign agents. None of them, is your claim, were Iranians?
Let me to explain. Those elements entered into the demonstrations and protests, and they started shooting at our police forces, and then they started shooting at people. And it was very strange. And then they started even shooting at the protesters. Why? Because they wanted to increase the number of killings, because the President of the United States had said that if there are killings, I will come to rescue. So in order to drag him into a war with Iran, they started shooting at people.
Hey, what up, DJX? Will DJT bring back the draft for this war? Will your taxes be raised to support this war? Will MAGA fucks sign up for this war? Many questions. Very, very fair questions.
So they increased.
All right, MAGA. I'm going to ask it one more time. Will they bring the draft back, which I've said that I think it's going to happen. Will they raise your taxes to pay for this war? Because that's what Bush did. So, yeah, interesting. And how many of y'all are, like I've been saying this entire stream, at the Army recruitment office, you know, putting them boots on, going to boot? Like, how come you're not already on your way to boot camp if you guys support this that much?
In order to increase the number of deaths. And the total
I'm gonna go to a lefty chat and just troll because I'm so convicted in my thoughts.
Was, as we have said, 3,117, and the list of all victims have been already published by us. 2,000, about
wishing I was not
2,500
sober.
of
Yeah, I'm
which are
gonna not
considered-
be sober
are
here in a minute.
considered by us as martyrs, ordinary people who were killed by these terrorist elements. 200 police forces. What do you do in the United States if somebody shoot at your police? You would certainly react very harshly. And this is what we did.
I mean, this is where he has the media by the balls here, because the media didn't stand up for the idea that, you know, Renee Good's killing was actually bad. So we don't have this is what sucks. We don't have the moral high ground anymore, guys. We can't go in demanding regime change and saying, oh, you guys are naughty and you guys are hurting your own citizens when you're literally doing the same shit.
And then it was, you know, over in less than...
Wait, you mean we're not getting Doge checks?
In 2.5 days. So please distinguish and separate between protesters, peaceful protesters in the streets, and then a terrorist operation, which was something else. So we consider those 3 days as a plot by Israelis and the continuation of 12-day war. So why they did it? Because last time in the war, in 12-day war, they saw that people came to the streets in support of the Islamic Republic. There was
selective service never left by law. On your 18th birthday, you must sign up or vote.
A social unity in support of the system. This time they wanted to change the course, so they started with some
MAGA are the biggest hypocrites. MAGA are Delulu.
Riots in the streets. They gave weapons to those to certain elements to come and shoot people. So we would have this chaos, and then attack us. Exactly what is going on right now. So all of those were
Pat Hoover coming in here hitting me with the Daffy Duck. You're despicable.
Very well planned.
Lefty.
Plot by Israelis.
God, this guy hates the left so much that he cut off his own left hand.
And Americans. But we were
I
able
can't have a left.
To control that, operation, and we are able to defend ourselves.
Good thing you were born with 2 right feet. It saved the leg.
This time, and you will see that how we can defend ourselves, and the world would see.
Watch every MAGA Chad suddenly develop bone spurs. No, they're going to claim to be trans because they'll get them out of that service. Remember, trans people can't serve in the military. So if you're trans, y'all safe from the draft.
Sir, you heard likely the president of the United States talk about regime change in Iran this morning in his recorded statements. What is your message to the president?
Yeah, Josh, careful with that shit.
Well, I think this is mission impossible. For regime change, you cannot do regime change while millions of people are supporting these so-called regime. You just look at what happened in the 47th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution. We had altogether about 30 million people in the streets in all cities of Iran in support of the Islamic Republic and in support of the whole system. So you cannot change this regime because it's supported by the people. Yes, there are also people who are complaining, but they are strong supporters of the regime, of the system at the same time. And then we have...
I want to directly apologize now for voting for Trump. I didn't vote for this. Mamak, thank you for that. You know what? I welcome your apology. You are forgiven. Welcome to the show.
Very well established political structure.
Definitely sub and like the stream, because I will say right now, Mamak, I would rather talk to you than any of these shitheads. At least you have you can kind of break things down objectively and just go, oh yeah, this is bullshit.
And They have tried regime change. This is not the first
but objectively, you did vote for this.
time that they want to do regime change. They have tried
And the people that support him right now, they voted for this. So this is where you have to really, really do some soul searching.
Look,
not saying that you're I forgive you, but that doesn't mean just stop.
In the past 47 years, the United States has tried everything from coup, from sanctions, 8 years of war by Saddam Hussein.
We really do appreciate when people realize their mistakes. Leaving room for growth is something that I'm big on, and also forgiving people in general for,
supported by the United States and many others, and then 12-day war, snapback.
Self-importance is strong with this one.
Security Council and terrorist operations. They have tried everything, and all of them failed. And I don't know why they don't, understand their failures. So if they want to repeat a failed experience, they won't get any.
So this is a democratic liberal platform? Nope.
Better result.
They take as much shit as the right does here.
Then, sir, what is your message to the Iranian people? We understand that you describe the president's call for regime change as mission impossible.
No, we don't worship politicians here. We don't trust them.
What is your message to the people of Iran right now? In your words, everything is under control, but based on what the world is seeing, there appears to be
Hey, Rebecca, good to see you.
Smoke coming up from a variety of different sites throughout Tehran. There appears to be some panic and real concern there. What do you tell the people of that country about the state of its government and the state of Iran broadly?
Well, I said everything is under control. I didn't say that there is.
I was absolutely done with Trump when he said the Epstein files were a hoax. Now this,
war.
man. So Mamak, what got you then? Why did you vote for Trump? Was it just Biden and Kamala were just that bad, which they were? Or was it were you actually excited to vote for Trump again because you thought that he was genuine in what he was spewing? And I am kind of curious. How do you believe just such an avowed liar? The guy is so full of shit. He can't go 10 fucking words without telling a lie.
Of course there is war. Of course there is panic. Of course there are attacks to different buildings. Of course about 60 girl students have been killed in one school. Of course there are those things. But my message to my own people is that we are a great nation.
Thank God for channels like this. CNN is cooked. Oh, yeah, it is.
Great civilization. We have lasted for thousands of years.
No, but this is where mainstream media is going to have a reckoning because most of those channels like CNN, Fox, all of them, they're not going to get a lot of ad revenue when there's no one to advertise to. Their demographic is literally dying off, man.
And we know how to defend ourselves. We know how to deal with our enemies.
And with the healthcare changes in America, they're not going to be around much longer.
And we will survive.
Like the ones that are still here. It was almost in their interest to try and keep them around.
Become more stronger out of this.
So when you hear the president
no one
say
likes Bill Clinton,
to the
lock him
people
up.
of Iran, your freedom is your own, rise up, the United States will be with you, you say to them that's a hollow gesture?
Isn't that the intervention in the, internal affairs of another country? If we had done so, what have you said? So the president.
Ooh, I actually like that retort to her because notice how she just perked up.
Of another country, how.
This is also how you know that they're not exactly great at their jobs because when they're asked a question, they're just like, "No, I was asking the questions. I'm the journalist." It's like, no, you're not.
Powerful has no right to decide for the people of another country, to order the people of another country what to do and what not to do. And this is what he did, by the way, in those terrorist operations. He was the one who set fires in the governmental buildings. Do this, do that, and now he's asking people to rise against their government.
They both perked up.
He, any right to do that? I don't think so.
Sir, are there any back channel talks, any communications that are taking place right now, or are those done? And separately, can this be de-escalated, and how?
Well, there is no communication right now, but if Americans want to talk to us, they know how they can contact me. We are certainly interested for de-escalation. This is not our war. This is an imposed war against us. This is a war of choice by the United States, and they have to pay for that. And they do. But as far as we are concerned, we don't want war. We don't want escalation in our region. We are ready for de-escalation, but the aggression should be stopped first. The attacks should be stopped first, and then there is the possibility to talk, and we can consider that. I'm not promising anything because our people are very angry right now. So if the war is stopped, if the aggression is stopped, then we will see how we can, work for de-escalation.
Sir, just days ago, you had said that there had been a semblance of an agreement between the U.S. and Iran, and a way to avoid a war, if you will. What specific concessions was Iran not willing to give up?
Well, on our nuclear program, we made it clear for the
Well, that was quick. I just fell asleep too. Rockets inbound, Pep.
American team that
right. We'll come back to this. You know what? We'll just keep this there for now.
we are prepared to do everything in order to prove that our nuclear program is peaceful and would remain peaceful forever.
On their
What
way
we
next
are
few
not
minutes. All
prepared
right, I'll
for
keep an eye out.
Is to give up our right. We are not giving up our
Thanks
right.
for the heads up.
Including for enrichment. But we are ready to build confidence on our nuclear program, to make sure that our program is peaceful and would remain peaceful forever. For that reason, for that
definitely keep me posted, man.
We offered good concessions to the U.S. team when we met them in last Thursday, 2 days ago. I may go into the details of those concessions in another program, perhaps, in order for the whole world to understand and for Americans to understand that we were progressing. We made significant progress. We agreed to do enrichment only based on our needs, the needs of Iranian people. I can tell you one of our needs. It is your Tehran research reactor. This is a small reactor, by the way, built by Americans before the revolution. And this reactor produces radioisotopes, medicines needed for nearly 2 million Iranians. So how we can give it up? How we can just stop this reactor? So we would continue our program.
Will the bombs lower grocery prices? Asking for everyone.
This is what we can
internally.
do, and we are prepared to do that. And we can accept, robust verifications and monitoring by the agency. And we can even do some more confidence-building measures in order to, make sure, as I said, that everything would remain peaceful. So I see the possibility to, reach a deal which can guarantee that Iran's program is peaceful. At the same time, sanctions are lifted and economic cooperation can be, started. And, we go for peace. And I don't know why the United States, why President Trump just missed that opportunity. Ask the foreign minister of Oman how close we were to get a deal.
Mr. Arachi, if I may, we heard from the president first in his State of the Union address that took place on Tuesday and again this morning in recorded remarks that I'm sure you've heard. The president said, among other things, that Iran has been building missiles that, in his words, could soon reach the American homeland. So as it relates to Iran's ballistic missile capabilities, does Iran now have the capability to reach the U.S. homeland? How far removed is it from that capability?
No, we don't have that capability. We have intentionally kept the range of our missiles below 2,000 kilometers. So we don't have that capability, and we don't want to do that because we don't have any hostility against, the United States people and and or Europeans or whatsoever. We have built that capability in order to defend ourselves against our enemies. And, our missiles proved to be the most reliable means of defense for us. So obviously we cannot compromise on our missiles because our security depends on them. So the more, the US administration, the more Europeans or whoever insists that Iran should disarm itself from those missiles, the more we are convinced that in order to protect ourselves, we need those missiles. So our missiles have defensive nature. Our missiles is only for deterrence and defense. They are not for aggression. And nobody has any record of any aggression by us against our neighbors in the past 200 years.
So for clarity, you said that your missiles cannot reach the United States by design, that you do not want to reach the United States, but you also said it would be necessary as a defensive vehicle that you could if necessary. So to be clear, are you committing that Iran is not and will not build missiles that would have the capability to reach the United States?
I can confirm, yes.
Sir, if that's a red line for you, why is attacking U.S. military bases abroad justified?
But because they are attacking us. They are U.S. military, installations, facilities, bases who are attacking us. We are under attack.
The fact that they're just... This is the U.S. media under Trump. We live in this is the post-fact society. I love it at this point. Fuck it. Oh my God. The downfall of America has been hilarious at this point.
Why don't you recognize this fact? We are under the attack by U.S. by U.S. forces in the region. So we have every right to defend ourselves. And how to defend ourselves? We attacked, the U.S. bases. This is obvious. This is a very simple fact.
All right, so we got some confirmed missile strikes in Israel. Knock it off. This is the skyline of Tel Aviv. Where did she get her credentials? Resting Bitch Face University. Here we go, here we go. Did I ever imagine I'd be doing war coverage? Nope. I started this show to have a place that we could smoke some herb and just kind of watch the news together and chill. But yeah, no, I never expected this shit. This is live in Tel Aviv right now. Oh, C-Main, thank you for the 100 sent 100 for 2 jewels. So, thank you. Appreciate that. Sorry, over? Is that what we're seeing here? Yeah. Yeah, these are ICBMs being taken down by the Iron Dome. Oh shit, that one hit. Fuck, Ryan, I hope you're okay, man. Stop. It seems like it's over. I'm surprised that the sirens didn't last a little bit longer there, because like after the sirens cut, they were still so like that's how the one that fell. Like, this is all so fucked. Yeah, no, it really is. All right. So we'll keep this feed up. Like I said, we do have somebody that is covering this essentially. Here. Hold on, guys. Fuck, this is not. Oh shit. I got more. Alright, so sucks. Be right back. This is happening live right now as this
רק תסמוק אלקטרו. לא ראיתי את זה. בדרום תל אביב.
Did any more get through? There's that one that totally got through. Alright. If you guys don't know what this is, we're watching a live feed from Tel Aviv. They just intercepted some ICBMs from Iran. Elisa Gayer Hello. Welcome to the show. Appreciate you being here. Not we pep day. Oh. One hit. Dogs are scared. Oh. So we got 2, 3. Oh, it's a short distance. Oh, so they're just using. Okay, well then they're just firing missiles. This is just the air defense depletion phase. They haven't launched it. No. That's we watched this happen already once. Like, what? A few months ago? The last time that Israel attacked Iran. Anyone still supporting Trump after this is a lost cause? I mean, to be fair, I've already seen this a lost cause. Nothing's changing there. All right. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on this over here. Let's continue with some of the coverage. Yeah, we were done with this guy.
Bahrain has confirmed there have been attacks inside its territory. This is a moment a missile hit the U.S.'s fifth